This is for the ones who were raised on gasoline dreams, for the lug nuts holding tight to the wild red line scenes, for the families that drive us, the wrench turning crews, for the chrome, the smoke, and the ones who refuse to lose. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, that's who we are. We're a culture, we're a brotherhood, we are only motivated. Build not borrowed, that's the creed written deep in our veins. We turn busted cars into legends and rust into fame. From late night garage grind to race day stadium roars, every scar on our knuckles unlocked 1,000 doors. We don't back down, we don't break, we don't fold. Every ride we build tells a story worth gold. This is for the ones who were raised on gasoline trains, for the lug nuts holding tight to the wild red line scenes, for the families, the drivers, the wrench turning crews, for the chrome, the smoke, and the ones who refuse to lose. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, that's who we are. We're a culture, we're a brotherhood, we are only motivated. Here's to the nights when the world said slow down, but the engine said no when we stood our ground. To the ones who grew up rich and when the rest took the easy way, we found a path in the piston noise and we'll ride it every day. Pedal to the metal, this is where we belong. Cars, trucks, monster trucks, loud and strong. Passion, pride, lug nuts, side by side. If you love what you drive, then ride, ride, ride. This is for the legends that started in dusty garages, for the kids who chase dreams through the scars and collages, for the racers who gave everything without fail, and the fans who stand proud when the engines wail. Where horsepower meets heart, yeah, this ain't a phase. It's our passion, our culture, and we'll live it to the grave. Pedal to the metal, forever in our veins. So look out, we're only getting louder from here. Nothing built strong was ever built out of fear. The road is wide open and the fire won't slow, because this isn't a hobby, this is the only life we know. Pedal down, heads high, we're not done. Pedal down, heads high, pedal down. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. You're listening to Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music, the show where horsepower, stories, and great music come together. From beautiful collector classics to fire-breathing race cars to the ground-shaking thunder of monster trucks, this is where the world of motors meets the power of music. So strap in tight, fire it up, and grab your favorite cold drink, because a ride is about to begin. And now, here's your host, Roller.
Hello, Carter, hello, Carter. Oh, yeah, hot mic, hot mic. Hey, guys, what's up out there? How y'all doing? It's hump day! Yeah, it is. Hump day! What's up, my beer garden rowdies down there, man? How you guys doing? Good to see you. Up in the mezzanine, how you guys doing up there? Good job. I love the song. We love roller. That's awesome. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's calm down here. Let's just calm it down a little bit here. We've got a good show tonight, man. Good show. I mean, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, man. Let's save a little bit of that energy for Habo. He'll be on here in just a little bit here, and we'll be talking to him, and it's going to be a good show tonight, man. We got Habo Gutierrez on tonight from the Toughest Monster Truck Tour. He's going to be on. He's going to be talking about his career behind the microphone of the monster truck show called the Toughest Monster Truck Tour. And this young man was in the right place at the right time, and he has really started making a name for himself. He's doing the open house at Bigfoot and different things like that. And it's funny, the story that he has, and it's funny how many people start out riding BMX bikes and they become monster truck drivers, or they start in the monster truck business. I myself started out on the BMX bike track doing that. So thank you, Cousin Debbie. I appreciate it. Robert Haas, how you doing out there, my brother? Good to see you, man. Did you get that flag sent off yet? I can't wait to get it in here, man. I can't wait to get it in here. Anyway, Chuck, you know, you're right. Ladies and gentlemen, a good friend of Chuck and mine, J.B. Smith. He was a great car man, a good buyer. I sold him many a car, and he passed away. And it's always sad when you hear of a good man like JB was. And you know, he used to call me from time to time and talk to me. And even though he moved way down to Texas and retired, he'd still take the time to call me up. But yeah, it's too bad. JB was a nice guy. And I guess what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and pay tribute to JB with this show tonight. Okay. That's what we'll do. That's exactly what we do. Thank you, Cousin Debbie. I appreciate it. JB was a good guy. But, guys, we do have a great show tonight. Like I said, Habo's on. And then on the 17th, we got Charlie Miller. He's a driver from the Paul Schaefer days. He's another monster truck driver. And then on the 20th, we have world champion ring woman Gracie Sherman. She's going to be on at 6. And then world champion auctioneer Toya McLeod is going to be on at 7:15. So that's going to be a good one. And then our old buddy Texas Rich is going to call in on the 24th, and we'll be talking to him about 7:15. And then I got Roger and Kathy Gauger. They're going to be on the show. Roger is 35 years in the monster truck business, and him and his wife, they have spent their whole entire married life together in the monster truck business. They, in fact, on their way home from their I guess like not the anniversary, but their wedding weekend, you know, the night and stuff, they bought their first monster truck. He's been in it ever since. So Roger's been a great friend, a good man, and so is Kathy. They're just great people. That when you go to a show and you see Roger and Kathy there, or as we in the business call Roger Pop Pop, you know, they're just good people, man, and I can't wait. I can't wait. So thank you, Carter. I appreciate that very much. Hey, Big Rich, what's up? My brother Texas Rich is in the house, man. He's going to be on, like I said, on the 24th. We're going to be talking to him. Like almost 86,000 people, man, on his group. So that's amazing. Anyway, guys, you know, speaking of Texas Rich, car show season's here. And you know, he is really, really busy. And I told you guys to get ahead of the game and get a hold of him and get one of these metal prints, these metal show boards made. And you know, now you're going to have to wait in line a little bit because he has a pretty good backup in the queue. But he sells these metal prints and these metal show boards. These metal prints come in sizes of 11 by 14, 16 by 20, and 20 by 30. Now, the big show board is the 20 by 30, and you can only get that in that size. So if you're looking to take your car display up to the next level, you need to get one of these metal prints or metal show boards. They last forever. They last a lifetime, and they're highly colored, and they're durable, and they won't bend, they won't warp, they won't do any of that stuff. You've got something that's going to go with your car for a lifetime and make that display look really good. So if you're interested in finding out pricing and stuff on these show boards or these metal prints, make sure you get a hold of Rich at Texas Rich at C10AmericaMagazine.com. That's Texas Rich at C10AmericaMagazine.com. And he will tell you exactly what he needs for your metal print or your show board. He needs like 15 pictures, and he needs a paragraph on you, paragraph on the truck or your car or whatever it happens to be. And he'll make these show boards. He don't care. He'll make a show board about your horse. If you want one about your horse, he'll make one. It doesn't have to be automobile related at all. Just get a hold of him at Texas Rich at C10AmericaMagazine.com, and he'll give you more information about that. Let's see here. Arch Auto Glass, 24-hour day, 7-day-a-week service. You call Art, and he'll be there. He'll come to your house. He'll come to your business. He'll come to the Walmart. He'll come wherever you need to have him and put that windshield, that side glass in that vehicle of yours. And when he's done, it's all cleaned up. The mess is gone. He's gone, and it's insurance taken care of. So make sure you stop by and get a hold of Art at Arch Auto Glass. His phone number is 720-296-8635, and get 10% off if you mention Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back right here in a minute after we take a break and pay some bills right here. We'll be right back.
When your glass takes a hit, don't let it slow you down. At Midwest Auto Glass LLC, we get you back on the road, fast, safe, and done right the first time. From windshield replacement and window regulator repair to window tint and quick chip repair. And here's the big one. They specialize in RV glass replacement and heavy equipment glass too. That means whether you're driving your daily ride, hauling down the highway in your RV, or running hard on the job site, they got you covered.
Call Jose today at 720-291-4464. That's 720-291-4464.
Visit MWAGLLC.com or email MidwestAutoGlassLC@gmail.com. Midwest Auto Glass LLC, from the road to the job site to the open highway. They keep your view clear and your wheels rolling. When your equipment goes down, your whole day comes to a stop. That's where Garner Repair comes in. Owned and operated by Austin Garner, Garner Repair brings professional, reliable mobile equipment repair right to you. No hauling, no waiting, no wasted time. From engine repair to hydraulic systems to electrical diagnostics and full preventative maintenance, Garner Repair keeps your equipment running strong. Whether you're on a job site, a ranch, or out in the field, Austin shows up ready to get the job done right the first time. Fast response, honest work, dependable service you can trust.
Call 303-588-7940.
7940
That's 303-588.
7940 or email garnerrepair@gmail.com. Garner Repair, keeping your equipment moving so you can keep moving forward. You're listening to Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music, where the engines are loud and the music hits just as hard. Classic cars, hot rods, monster trucks, and the stories behind the builds, mixed with the music that fuels the ride. From the show field to the arena floor, we bring you the horsepower and the center to match. Stick around, we got more coming your way. But first, a word from our sponsors.
All right, guys, we're back right here. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. We're going to have a great show. I'd like to say hello to my Goomba, Anthony Agostino. He's listening to me down in Florida, and can't wait for you to get home. My brother, we're going to be hanging out, man. So, excuse me, guys. I only had a chance to write one song this week. I've been busy, and oh, Carter, I've been waiting for you to call me. We're supposed to get a hold of each other, and we're supposed to do a song for you. So whenever you get free time, you give me a call. You know how to get a hold of me. So, but anyway, this song here is called "The Beach." We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
Drove back down that old highway to the shoreline where we used to go. Same sea old swaying in the breeze, same old salt air blowing through the trees. The waves still crash like they always did, but tonight this place feels different. There's an emptiness I can't explain, since heaven called your name away. Now the beach don't feel like the beach anymore, without your footprints beside mine in the shore. That old sunset don't burn the same gold, without your hand in mine to hold. That rock where we sat for hours at a time still knows your laugh, still hears your voice in mine. The tide rolls in, but my world rolled out to sea. Girl, this beach ain't our beach without you here with me. I walked down to our fire pit spot where we talked about all we got, dreamed about forever in the dark, with your head laying on my heart. We'd stay awake beneath those stars, talking about life from no guitars. Now the night feels cold and still, and silence cuts deeper than it will. Now the beach don't feel like the beach anymore, without your footprints beside mine in the shore. That old sunset don't burn the same gold, without your hand in mine to hold. That rock where we sat for hours at a time still knows your laugh, still hears your voice in mine. The tide rolls in, but my world rolled out to sea. Girl, this beach ain't our beach without you here with me. But I swear I still feel you in that ocean wind, like your soul still heaven telling me you're alright. So I'll keep coming back till my days are through, to the place that still belongs to me and you. 'Cause love like ours don't disappear with time. It just lives somewhere beyond this life. Now the beach don't feel like the beach anymore, but I still see your shadow walking that shore. And every sunset paints your memory alive, like a piece of you still survives. That rock where we sat for hours at a time still holds the echoes of your heart and mine. And someday when the good Lord finally calls me home, maybe we'll walk this beach again, together alone. So tonight I'll sit here by the sea and let those old waves wash over me. Missing you comes in like the tide, but forever you'll still be by my side.
The Beach, right here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music. Hey, cool. This next song up, ladies and gentlemen, is called Your Picture on the Dashboard of My C10.
I keep your picture on the dashboard of my C10. Well, I rolled into town in my old C10 tonight. Dust on the tires and the headlights bright. But before I hit the stage and sing these songs again, I look down at that picture sitting on my dash, my friend. It's a faded little photo from a summer long ago. Two kids in love down a country road. She had that smile that stole my soul back then, and that picture still rides in just a couple of kids sneaking kisses by the river bridge. Radio playing those old love songs, thinking maybe forever might come along. Well, forever did, and here we are today, still riding life down that same highway. And every time I turn that old key again, I see your smile. I keep your picture on the dashboard of my C10, right where the road and my heart both begin. Every mile reminds me where I've been and how lucky I was when love rolled in. From those teenage nights to the life we're living, through every prayer that the good Lord's given. Girl, you've been my rose since way back when. That's why your picture rides in my C10. Some folks chase fortune, some chase fame, but I found heaven in a small town name. Just a pickup truck and a love so true, and a little old picture of me and you. I keep your picture on the dashboard of my C10. Every mile tells a story again. From two young hearts to where we've been. Lord, I'd do it all over again. Through dusty roads and the life we're living, all the love that the good Lord's given. Girl, you've been my rose since way back when. That's why your picture rides in my C10.
That's right, picture on the dashboard of my C10. This next song up is called Born in 69. What this song's about is about that beautiful 69 Chevy Camaro right here. Here it is, Born in 69.
Born in 69. just flies. SS Camaro, big block rage, 396 breaking out the cage. Drop the hammer, feel the ground shake. That Camaro's more than most can take.
You know, that Camaro really was born in 67, but it took him 2 years to create perfection. That's what it was. 2 years to create perfection, if you want to know the truth. I love that 69 Camaro. All right, guys, let's see here. Our next song up is going to be, let's see here. How about Big Daddy of the Quarter Mile? This is about Big Daddy Don Garlitz. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
A clutch blew up with a thunder sound. Steel and sparks flying all around. But Big Daddy stood and he made it clear. No more engines sitting right up here. Move the power behind the seat. Built the machine that no one could beat. Oh, rear engine thunder shaking the ground. A brand new chapter in racing found. 200 miles and faster still. Breaking the limits of speed and will. Big Daddy flying down the quarter mile. Burning the track with a rebel smile. From farm dirt roads to the record books. Changing the way that the whole world looks. Smoke and thunder in the Florida sun. A lifetime of races forever won. When drag race legends are told in style. Big Daddy rules the quarter mile. Rules the quarter mile.
You're listening to Pedal to the Metal. Motors and music. Where the engines are loud and the music hits just as hard. Classic cars, hot rods, monster trucks, and the stories behind the builds. Mixed with the music that fuels the ride. From the show field to the arena floor, we bring you the horsepower and the center to match. Stick around, we got more coming your way. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Hey, Colorado, get ready! The second annual Tri-Lakes Cruisers Truck Show is rolling into Monument, Colorado on June 14th, 2026. Bring your ride out to the legendary Big Red at 146 North Jefferson Street in Monument and be part of one of the coolest truck shows in the state. We're talking classic trucks, custom builds, lifted rigs, and clean street cruisers, all lined up with the Rocky Mountains as your backdrop. Move-in starts at 8 a.m. and the show runs from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Registration is just $35, and every dollar helps support the Tri-Lakes Cruisers Automotive Scholarship Fund, presented by Hefty Fabworks. This is more than a show. It's a community, a passion, and a day you don't want to miss. So shine it up, fire it up, and roll in. For full details, scan the QR code or visit www.trilakescruisers.com. That's June 14th in Monument, Colorado. The Tri-Lakes Cruisers Truck Show, where horsepower meets the mountains. Hey, cool cats and chrome lovers! Get ready for horsepower, hot rods, and summer fun at the Night Owl Hot Rods Fiesta Fun Run! Cruise on out Saturday, July 11th, 2026, from 3 in the afternoon until 8 at night at Sheridan Community Park, 3325 West Oxford Avenue in Sheridan, Colorado. Check out classic rides, custom builds, amazing food trucks, and that sweet sound of engines rolling through a summer evening. Music all night long from Southern Colorado's legendary DJ Buzz Corona. And don't miss the live auction, featuring automotive memorabilia, collectibles, and surprises every car lover's gonna want. Bring your friends, bring the family, and enjoy one incredible night of cars, music, food, and fun. Stay in the loop. Follow Night Owl Hot Rods on Facebook. The Night Owl Hot Rods Fiesta Fun Run, where the classics roll and the good times never stall.
And now, return to pedal to the metal. Motors and music. With your host, Roller.
You know, if you're a hot rodder like a lot of us are on the show here, you'll understand what this next song's about. I'll tell you what, if you're feeling down, maybe a little ill or something, all you need to do is go get in that hot rod of yours, roll the window down, get out on the highway, fire it up, and drive it, and listen to that tailpipe tune.
I owe my life to that tailpipe tune. All my life since I was young, I loved hot rods and the tailpipe tune. Every ride I ever owned had its own kind of rumble to it. Old Chevys, Fords, a few worn trucks, headers barking when I fired them up. Every engine had a voice, and that sound was my kind of noise. I owe my life to that tailpipe tune, that rumble rolling underneath the moon. That big block thunder shook my soul, did more for me than rock and roll. Cruising highways, back road afternoons, listening to those tailpipe tunes. When the world said I was through, I found my life in that tailpipe tune. And one day about 2 years ago, doctor sat me down real slow, said, son, the news ain't looking good. There's something in you that shouldn't be there. Cancer was the word he said, felt like lightning in my head. On the drive back home I cried, thinking maybe this was the end. I owe my life to that tailpipe tune, that rumble rolling underneath the moon. That big block thunder shook my soul, did more for me than rock and roll. Cruising highways, canyon afternoons, listening to those tailpipe tunes. When the world said I was through, I found my life in that tailpipe tune. Walked out to my old shop that night, stealing chrome under dusty lights. Every hot rod standing proud like they knew what I was thinking about. So I climbed in that old truck seat, turned the key and woke that beast. Radio blaring loud and clear, but it didn't change a thing inside of me. So I shut it off and there it was, the deep down rumble I always loved. That big block heartbeat in the night started making everything feel right. I owe my life to that tailpipe tune, that rumble rolling underneath the moon. That big block thunder shook my soul, did more for me than rock and roll. Cruising highways, prairie afternoons, listening to those tailpipe tunes. When the world said I was through, I found my life in that tailpipe tune. Through the canyons and the plains, let that motor ease the pain. Every mile the fear would fade, every mile a little faith, that rumble running through my veins. medicine in every frame. 6 months later I walked back in, doctor staring at the screen again. Said, son, I don't know what to say. The thing we found has gone away. He said, I can't explain your case, never seen results like this. I said, doc, it's simple truth, I know exactly what it is. I owe my life to that tailpipe tune, that rumble rolling underneath the moon. That big black thunder shook my soul, did more for me than rock and roll. Cruising highways, canyon afternoons, listening to those tailpipe tunes. If I make it past 78, I'll thank that big block Chevy V8. Yeah, the answer to life's blues is the sound of those big block tailpipe tunes.
Mama and Daddy were gone out of town. Me and my buddies were messing around. Keys on the table, truck in the drive. Temptation hit me right between the eyes. That old C10 sitting in the moonlight glow. Daddy's pride and joy, that truck he loved so. I said, boys, let's take her just a mile or two. Next thing I knew, we were tearing through town like fools. Running dirt roads, laughing out loud, young and wild, with the radio loud. Didn't think nothing could go wrong that night. Just a bunch of boys in Daddy's old truck. But life can turn in a second or two when you're driving faster than you ought to do. And every young man knows that feeling of dread when you tear up your daddy's old truck instead. That curve way too fast, gravel and dust started flying past. Lost control in a cloud of dirt, everything stopped in a second of hurt. Hit that tree square in the door, bent the body and crumpled the floor. Frame all twisted, glass everywhere, four scared boys just standing there. Running dirt roads, laughing out loud, young and wild, with the radio loud. Didn't think nothing could go wrong that night. Just a bunch of boys in Daddy's old truck. But life can turn in a second or two when you're driving faster than you ought to do. And every young man knows that feeling of dread when you tear up your daddy's old truck instead. Next day, Mama and Daddy came home. I sat there waiting there all alone. Daddy walked in and looked around, then said, son, where's my truck now? I told him the truth with my head hanging low. Said, Dad, I wrecked it down the road. He stood there quiet for a minute or two, then said, son, I just gotta ask you, alright, was all he said. Not a word about the twisted steel instead. That's when I learned what love can be. A daddy's heart runs deeper than an old C10 Chevy.
Daddy's old C10 Chevy right here on Pedal to the Metal Motors and Music. This next song up is about a gentleman driving down a road one day, and he needed to pull over and take a break, and he seen up in the distance a old abandoned gas station, and he thought that would be a good place to pull over. And he did, and he's seen a lot of history right there in front of him. This is called the Old Gas Station.
That old gas station's memories. I was driving down that highway, just chasing time away. Sun was sinking low, in and out another day. Looked off to the right, through the dust and faded light. Saw an old gas station, barely hanging on to life. I pulled over slow, let the engine idle down. Gravel crunching underneath, not a soul around. Walked up to the door, paint peeling off the frame. Felt like something there, still whispering a name. There were calendars on the wall, stuck in yesterday. Old Coke signs and coffee cups, long gone cold and gray. There was a note on the door, barely hanging anymore. Said it's been great serving you, but we gotta close the doors. I stood there a while, just letting it sink in, like I could hear the voices of the folks that had been laughing round the counter, counting out their change, trying to make a living in a world that always changed. That old gas station's memories still echo in the breeze. Was it just a stop along the way, or a lifeline for families? Did it keep the lights on, feed the kids at night, put clothes on their backs, keep a roof pulled tight? I just stand here wondering why it still feels alive to me. Yeah, that old gas station's memories. Sign out front still saying 29 cents a gallon. Back when a dollar stretched and a man could make it happen. Pumps are long gone, weeds growing through the cracks, but you can almost hear the engines rumbling back. Probably fixed 1,000 flats, checked 1,000,000 gauges, heard 1,000,000 stories pass through those dusty stages. From first dates to road trips, truckers passing through. Every mile of life stopped here for a minute or two. That old gas station's memories still echo in the breeze. Was it just a stop along the way, or a lifeline for families? Did it keep the lights on, feed the kids at night, put clothes on their backs, keep a roof pulled tight? I just stand here wondering why it still feels alive to me. Yeah, that old gas station's memories. Maybe someone's daddy worked behind that countertop, dreaming about a better life that never really stopped. Maybe some young kid grew up sweeping those floors. Now he's out there chasing something more. And maybe it don't look like much to passing eyes, but there's a whole lot of living in that old roadside life. That old gas station's memories ain't just rust and broken dreams. They're every mile, every smile, every how have you been in between. It was more than gas and oil, more than just a place to be.
It was life, it was love, it was everything in between. Now I climb back in and drive away, but it stays right here with me. Yeah, that old gas station's memory. Gas station's memories.
That old gas station's memories right there. Tim Dudley, thank you for the kind words, my friend. I appreciate that very much. Raul, my brother, my head lug nut, what are you doing out there, man? I can't wait to see you, bro. I can't wait to see you. We got to catch up, man. We got a big show to go to on the 31st, man. Hey, this next song, guys, is about a group of monster truck drivers that's passed away. And I know they're all up in heaven and hanging out and doing monster truck shows. And then we lost a brother announcer, and he's up there too, man, and he's a calling the shots. So this one here is called Titans of the Dirt. We'll be right back here on Pedal the Metal, Motors and Music.
Hey, yeah! so clear, like every monster truck fan would hear. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on tight. Welcome to Heaven's Monster Truck Night! Above the legends, champion of heaven's legends.
Titans of the Dirt, that's right, Titans of the Dirt. This next song up here is called My Dad's Old Six String. We'll be right back here on Pedal to Metal, Motors and Music.
When I was young, I remember those nights. My dad with a guitar and soft yellow light. He'd play that old six string, worn and true, singing about love and the hard times too. The songs of good times, songs of pain, every note like a summer rain. I'd sit there quiet, just taking it in, watching his hands dance on those strings. Oh, my dad's old six string still echoes in my mind. Every chord, every line takes me back in time to a living room stage where life felt just right. Yeah, I'd give anything to hear that six string tonight. I could sit there for hours, never a word. Every song he played, I felt and I heard. He'd smile at me, look at Mom, like nothing in this world could go wrong. It was a concert right there at home. Didn't need a crowd, didn't need a throne. Just a man, a guitar, and a heart so strong, turning simple nights into lifelong songs. Oh, my dad's old six string still echoes in my mind. Every chord, every line takes me back in time to a living room stage where life felt just right. Yeah, I'd give anything to hear that six string tonight. His friends would come knocking, word got around as he playing a night. They'd gather round, he'd laugh and say, oh, I just play for fun. But they all knew what was coming on. They'd rush in the house just to grab a seat before the first chord and the rhythm beat. All night long, those songs would ring, voices rising with that old six string. Now that old guitar just sits on its stand. No one to play it, no steady hand. The room's still quiet where the music used to be, but those songs still live inside of me. Oh, my dad dad's old six string still echoes in my mind. Every chord, every line, like a piece of time in a house full of love. On the soft porch of light, yeah, I would give anything to hear my daddy play that six string tonight. Yeah, I sure do miss those days. And my daddy's sitting there playing his old six string.
My dad's old six string right here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music. All right, guys, this next one up here, if you got somebody in the house right there, tell them it's time to do a little two-stepping on a honky-tonk Saturday night.
Been working all week just for the weekend, punching clocks, counting down the time. Me and the boys, yeah, we're all leaning toward a jukebox and a neon sign. The girls will be there looking sharp and dressed just right. New outfits glowing under neon light, looking for a belt buckle they can make shine bright on a honky-tonk Saturday night. Screen door swings and the smoke rolls in, bar stools scrape on a hardwood floor. You can feel that buzz right under your skin, like you've been here 1,000 times before. Yeah, we're two-stepping on a honky-tonk Saturday night. Band fires up, man, it's feeling just right. Cold beer clinking under sawdust lights, hearts beating time to a fiddle type. Laughs get loud, worries fade out of sight. Every wrong feels a little more right. Yeah, we're two-stepping on a honky-tonk Saturday night. Band hits the stage, drummer counts it down. The steel guitar starts crying sweet. Boot heels thump as the floor goes round, spinning circles down to the beat. Strangers smile like they've been friends for years. Hands in the air, not a care nowhere. Every song sounds better when you're right here. And the night's still young, yeah, the coast is clear. Bartender grins, pours another round. Someone laughs at an old inside joke. That little red dress is spinning me around under them lights and a little bit of smoke. Yeah, we're two-stepping on a honky-tonk Saturday night. Neon humming like it's holding us tight. Long week gone by, the second chorus hits. Yeah, this is as good as it gets. Hands held close, boots moving just right. Every dream feels with inside. Yeah, we're two-stepping on a honky-tonk Saturday night. Ain't nobody checking clocks anymore. Ain't nobody thinking about Monday blues. If there's heaven hid behind a screen door, it probably sounds just like this tune. Fiddle screams, crowd yells one more song. Sweat on the wall, but we don't mind. Hold her close while the night rolls on, trying to slow down time. Yeah, we're two-stepping on a honky-tonk Saturday night. Band still playing like it's the last light. Boots worn down, but the spirit's high. Moon hanging low in a Texas sky. If tomorrow comes, it can wait outside. 'Cause right now, man, we're doing it right. Yeah, we're two-stepping on a honky-tonk Saturday night. Door swings shut, but the memory's tight. Still humming that song in the morning light. Yeah, me and the boys will be talking about that honky-tonk Saturday night.
1982. Yeah, he saw that dream come true when that hotel caught his heart, midnight black and shining new. Lou was on a trunk. Yeah, that year was 101. Subtle but so clean, that kind of beauty can't be undone. Black leather seats and the floor, a touch of luxury and fire. From the moment he turned that key, that Riviera stirred his desire. And when that 455 starts humming, you can hear temptation coming. 'Cause they're proud in the night, rolling slow on the street lights. Deep black pearl paint so clean, floating smooth like a midnight dream. Black on black, oh, what a sight. Yeah, made her proud in the night. Yeah. Side marker delete, smooth nose with that big grill. Black and bumpers front and rear, that's intimidation on wheels. Air ride gliding low, shifting to automatic ease. When he hits that boulevard, the world drops to its knees. Billet specialty spinning, 18s up front, 20s in the back, every curve and every line, screaming Riviera attack. And when the bass line starts to shake, you feel the whole town awake, baby. 'Cause they're proud in the night, rolling slow under street lights. Deep black pearl paint so clean, floating smooth like a midnight dream. Black on black, oh, what a sight. Yeah, made her proud, oh, in the night. Oh, leather and power, beauty and danger. King on the highway, no one drives it like the maker. He built it, he loved it, it became a part of his life. And every mile they traveled cut the darkness like a knife. Yeah. Cruising timeless, heavy is the crown. Every night out knows when faders around. Little prowls in the night, like a panther ready to bite. Deep black pearl paint under neon glow. There ain't another ride stealing the show. For 40 plus years their bond is tied. Yeah, made of prowls in the night. Yeah, made of prowls in the night. Yeah, made of prowls, oh, in the night. Yeah, made of prowls. Let you know there are cruisers and then there are legends. Some cars were built and some were born. And for the night owl crew, there's only one king of the boulevard. That 71 Motel Riviera, deep black pearl paint, gliding on air, prowling the streets like it owns a dog. 40 plus years, same driver, same dream, still turning heads, still ruling the night. Oh, so when you hear that rumble and feel that midnight wind, oh, just know the king has arrived. Oh, long live Vader.
Pomona, California, a 1955 Thunderbird, raven black under that desert sun, tuxedo leather wrapped around temptation, 2 seats made for lovers riding one-on-one, long sleek hood like a midnight promise, short rear deck with a heartbreak smile, chrome jet bullets in the front keep shining. Now she runs through Colorado in that soul smooth style. Wasn't just a car, she was confidence on wheels. Every mile she drove, somebody's heart would feel. Black beauty, turning every head on every street she glides. Black beauty, luxury and power sitting side by side. From the Hollywood hills at night to the Colorado sky, she was built for romance and racing both at the same time. Oh, black beauty, America learned how a star should shine. Yeah, 292 V8 with 198 horses, Ford-O-Matic ready to run, lowered front end with custom wheels rolling. She didn't compete, she already won. From California boulevards to Colorado shoreline, she still steals the scene every time her tires meet the ground. She saved her makeup with style and glory, started a fire only legends can pass around. She was elegance and muscle, the perfect kind of wrong. Every engine note sounded like a soul-sweet song. Black beauty, turning every head on every street she'd glide. Black beauty, luxury and power sitting side by side. From the Hollywood hills at night to the Colorado sky, she was built for romance and racing both at the same time. Oh, black beauty, America learned how a star should shine. Oh, now she plays in Colorado on those high-mile drives. Musicians, movie kings, public figures, stars, all wanted that feeling of living above the bar. But she never needed fame, she gave it away. If you drive black beauty, you belong in the Hall of Fame. In the Rockies on a Saturday night, heartbeat shifting, 2 souls tangled in a dash line. Black beauty, turning every head on every street she glides. Black beauty, luxury and power sitting side by side. From the Hollywood hills at night to the Colorado sky, she was built for romance and racing both at the same time. Oh, black beauty, forever and ever you shine. Oh, raven black, tuxedo dream, romance and speed in perfect harmony. California born, Colorado royalty.
Hey, cool cats and chrome lovers! Get ready for horsepower, hot rods, and summer fun at the Night Owl Hot Rods Fiesta Fun Run! Cruise on out Saturday, July 11th, 2026, from 3 in the afternoon until 8 at night at Sheridan Community Park, 3325 West Oxford Avenue in Sheridan, Colorado. Check out classic rides, custom builds, amazing food trucks, and that sweet sound of engines rolling through a summer evening. Music all night long from Southern Colorado's legendary DJ Buzz Corona. And don't miss the live auction featuring automotive memorabilia, collectibles, and surprises every car lover's gonna want. Bring your friends, bring the family, and enjoy one incredible night of cars, music, food, and fun. Stay in the loop. Follow Night Owl Hot Rods on Facebook. The Night Owl Hot Rods Fiesta Fun Run, where the classics roll and the good times never stall. Attention hot rodders, custom builders, truck fans, and motorcycle riders! Get ready for the White Buffalo Car Show coming to downtown Snyder, Texas on Saturday, October 3rd, 2026. Cruise into the heart of Snyder and enjoy a full day packed with classic cars, custom trucks, motorcycles, live music, great food, vendors, shopping around the square, and fun for the whole family. With 25 classes, awards, and even a furthest traveled award, there's something for every kind of ride. Registration is just $20, and all proceeds stay local to support area charities and community programs. And don't miss your chance to meet Texas rich with C10 America during this huge downtown celebration. Plus, cruise into the Friday night meet and greet on October 2nd before the band starts rocking. So polish up that chrome, shine those wheels, and head to the White Buffalo Car Show in downtown Snyder, Texas! The White Buffalo Car Show, where horsepower, hometown pride, and Texas tradition come together.
Folks, auction season is here. And when it comes time to sell your equipment, livestock, estate items, or complete farm dispersal, you need an auction company you can trust. That's where the Holsworth Auction Company comes in. Serving Colorado and surrounding communities with honest service, hard work, and hometown values. Whether you're planning a farm auction, ranch dispersal, estate sale, livestock sale, or equipment reduction, the Holsworth Auction Company has the experience to help get the job done right. And now with online internet bidding available, buyers can participate from just about anywhere, helping bring more attention to your sale and stronger bidding opportunities. Community-minded, professional, dependable. That's the Holsworth difference. Give Ken Holsworth a call today at 970-380-5305 or call John Clatworthy at 970-768-7500 or visit them online at theholsworthauctioncompany.com. The Holsworth Auction Company, LLC, where integrity still matters. Are you looking for something to jumpstart your podcast or your YouTube intro? Well, if you are, we've got some pretty great news. Now you can get that professional sound just like the big-time productions you hear on the radio. That's right, clean, crisp, powerful audio that grabs attention from the very first second. We help folks just like you bring their content to life. Whether you're launching a podcast, building a YouTube channel, or starting that next big thing on TikTok. And let's be honest, it doesn't matter what platform you're on. If your audio doesn't sound right, people tune out. That's where we come in. From intros and voiceovers to full production sound, we'll take what you've got and elevate it to the next level. So if you're serious about sounding like a pro, it's time to step it up. Check out a few samples below and hear the difference for yourself. And when you're ready to get started, contact Roller at jeffrichards327@gmail.com or TexasRich at texasrich@c10americamagazine.com. Your audience is listening. Make sure you sound your best. And now, we return to pedal to the metal. Motors and music. your host, Roller.
Okay, we're back right here, and we're getting ready to call Habo Gutierrez right here. Let's give him a call and see if he's going to pick up right here. Let's just find out. We know we got dial tone.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Okay.
The person you're trying to reach is not available.
Habo.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Habo, it's Roller, man. Just calling you. It's time. Turn off your answering machine and turn on your phone, buddy, right here. We're going to try you back in another few minutes. We'll play a song, and then we'll call you right back. All right. Well, that's one. That's one right there, you see. That's just one. All right, let's go back over here, and we'll just play something here off of the Light Fantastics right here. Let's find out here what we got here. Let's do this. We haven't heard this one in a while, and it'll give him a chance to get his phone on and maybe wake up or whatever here. So this is called Vindication Ride right here off of the Black Tie Soul album.
76 Eldorado, 18-inch wheels, base model no more. Reborn front to back, motor, transmission, suspension, interior, everything. Gunmetal gray, burgundy top, she shines like victory. And when she rolls, I roll. Back in '94, I saw her standing in the sun, white with that red interior. That's when the love begun. Taught my baby girl to drive, her small hands on the wheel. Every mile felt like forever, every moment felt so real.
But life can cut you deep, leave you broken, hollow inside. Had to let her go to survive, but Lord, I cried.
But we came back, stronger than before. Yeah, we came back, two hearts restored. You can break a man down, but you can't kill his pride. Now every mile we roll is a vindication ride. Ooh, vindication ride. 12 years later, I was looking, though I tried to keep it cool. Craigslist on the iPad, just a dream I shouldn't do. Then I saw her in Fort Collins, tire paint broken down. But my heart knew her the second that she spun around. I walked away the first time, tried to tell myself it's wrong. But Viva Las Vegas hit my spirit, and I knew where I belong.
2 years of rebuilding, every inch and every line. And when that burgundy top dropped, man, I knew she was mine.
Yes, we came back, stronger than before. Oh, we came back, two hearts restored. Took a long dark road, but we found the other side. Now every mile we roll is a vindication ride, sweet vindication ride. Vegas lights in the rear view, Tahoe wind on my face, Napa Sun, Highway 1, no more running from the race. San Francisco sunrise, LA waves kissing the car, San Diego nights, Phoenix heat. We came so far. They see the car,
They see the man,
they feel the scars.
we still stand,
Life tried to break us.
but we survived.
Look at us riding.
Look at us alive.
Yeah, we came back stronger than before. Oh, we came back, two hearts restored. You can take my money, take my time, take my pride, but you can't touch the way I feel on that midnight ride. Ooh. 19 years together, and we're still rolling strong. And if she sold one day, that means her drive is gone. Until that moment, every road is home. And every night we ride as one.
You know, that was probably one of my favorite albums to make. I tell you, I really, really enjoyed putting the time in on that one. All right, let's call Habo and see if he's going to answer this time or not.
Your call has been forwarded to
Okay.
voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Habo, it's Roller. I'm going to give you one more shot here in a minute. I'm going to play another song, and if not, then c'est la vie. You know, I just don't understand, guys. I worked with him all day today. I told him what time I was calling, and to make sure he'd be ready. Oh no, I'll be ready, man. I'll be ready. I was like, okay, all right. Well, worked for 2 days on his song, and you know, I don't understand it, man. I just don't understand it right here. All right, let's see here. Let's go here and find something we can play right fast here. We'll do it one more time. If not, we're just going to have another hour's worth of music to play. That's all we're going to do. We're going to give you one more shot. 3 strikes, you're out. You know what I mean? 3 strikes, you're out. Let's see here. Dadgummit. Got a lot of these commercials. Boy, we're making a lot of commercials for people's business, guys. It's really turning out to be something pretty cool to do. So if you guys are looking to get a commercial made, you can get a hold of me at jeffrichards327@gmail.com, or you can get a hold of Texas Rich at texasrich@c10americamagazine.com, and we will go ahead and quote you a price and get yourself something fixed up right there. All right, this song right here, ladies and gentlemen, is one I wrote, and this is for a great friend of ours, of mine and Texas Rich, and this is about his daughter. She was killed in a tragic car accident, and Kevin did a tribute truck to her, and this song here is called Riding Shotgun from Heaven, and this is about Andy, who was Kevin's daughter, and this is called Riding Shotgun from Heaven. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
Daddy, you bought that Silverado back in 2001. A California stepside, shining in the sun. 305 motor and factory air. But you saw a better truck hiding in there. Then you dropped a 350 with a 4-barrel carb. Little Cam and Flowmasters rumbling hard. That Chevy carried every mile we'd seen before we ever knew what that truck would mean. I remember missing the school bus, standing next to you, just so I could ride to school in that truck you drove. You'd drop me off and I'd smile so proud, telling all my friends I'd make you proud. I used to say that truck would someday be mine. Guess I dreamed about it all the time. Those mornings riding through the sunrise glow mean more now than you'll ever know. Then my brother came home wearing Marine Corps green. You handed him the keys to that old machine. He drove the wheels off that Chevy for years, till the frame gave away from miles and years. So you parked it down and let it sit, dust on the hood thinking that was it. But I told you, Dad, let's bring it back alive. Me and my boyfriend would make it right. You said the truck wasn't worth the time, said we'd find another dream down the line. But life has a way of changing our plans. 6 months later, fate dealt its hand. That freeway night changed everything. But Daddy, please don't blame a thing, 'cause even then I still could see the dream that truck would someday be. Now that old truck rolls down the road, carrying love you always showed. Every mile that engine screams still carries on. Andy's dream, sinister smoke in the midnight gleam, lime green lights like I dreamed. Every road and every scene still carries on. Andy's dream. I watched you working boat by boat, turning heartache into hope. Body line smooth and the glass set clean, building the truck I always dreamed. Red oak bed and the stance down low, 383 stroker ready to go. 525 horses rumbling strong. Daddy, you finished what I dreamed all along. That old truck rolls down the road, carrying love you always showed. Every mile that engine screams still carries on. Andy's dream. Every time it rolls, shine black with that green glow. And every time that engine roars, I'm riding right there like before. Mama, Daddy, please don't cry for me. I'm doing fine where the roads run free. One day we'll all be together, it seems. So keep on driving Andy's dream. And every time that truck rolls by, just know I'm riding shotgun from the sky.
Okay, we're going to try Habo one more time. If not, we're just going to go on and we're going to have a show here.
Your call has been forwarded to
All right.
voicemail.
There you go, buddy. Thank you, Raul. I appreciate that very much, man. I've never met Kevin or his wife, but from what I understand, Andy was a very beautiful girl, and she was killed by a road rage driver up in Washington State. So, a tragic loss, and just over something stupid by some young man getting road raged and not working. But I'll tell you what, man, we got plenty of songs. We're not going to call Hobble no more. We're just going to turn off the studio line right there. And we'll go ahead and put his song in the trash and go on down the road right here. This one here is from a good friend of mine, and I hope that he's going to be able to make my car show. He is just an extraordinary famous in this part of the country pinstriper, and his name is Rhodey. And Rhodey's just a great guy, man. I got to go over, I think it's been about a month and a half ago with Raul, and we got to hang out in the studio and hang out with Rhodey, and he was building one of his cars and stuff. And Rhodey's a busy man, and he said he'd try to make it down. So hopefully he'll make it, and we'll go from there. But this here is called Rhodey's Lines. We'll be right back here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
In a paint shop next to his house, under bright lights shining clean and white, hot rods roll in from miles around. When Rhodey lays a stripe, man, the word gets around. A steady hand and a camel hair brush, one smooth line and the whole crowd hush. Candy red flames on a midnight ride, and a silver line dancing down the side. Rhodey's lines running straight and true, like a guitar string singing that rock and roll tune. From a Chevy to a Ford to a Merc so fine, every hot rod shines with Rhodey's lines. Yeah, Rhodey's lines, smooth as a melody, running down steel like a rock guitar lead. When the cruisers roll under those street light signs, everybody knows those Rhodey lines. Flatheads rumble on a Saturday night, chrome shining under the driving light. A coupe rolls in with a brand new flame, but it ain't complete till Rhodey signs his name. One long pull and the crowd leans near, nobody talks when the brush comes near. One steady curve and a final shine, now that hot rod's wearing Rhodey's line. His shop sits right beside his house, bright shop light shining all around. Bib overalls and a white t-shirt, that steady hand never slips or jerks. Striped panels hanging on the wall, flames and scrolls from years of them all. Every panel tells a story in time of the hot rods of war. Rhodey's lines, Rhodey's lines, running straight and true, like a guitar string singing that rock and roll tune. From a Chevy to a Ford to a Merc so fine, every hot rod shines with a Rhodey's lines. Yeah, Rhodey's lines, smooth as a melody, running down steel like a rock guitar lead. When the cruisers roll under those street light signs, everybody knows those Rhodey lines. From Denver streets to a highway show, hot rod legends all know where to go. One little brush and a little white paint turns cold steel into rolling saints. Rhodey's lines, running straight and true, like a guitar string singing that rock and roll tune. From a Chevy to a Ford to a Merc so fine, every hot rod
these lines.
Well, I got confirmation from Raul that him and Rhodey are definitely on for the car show. That's way cool. That's going to be cool. So I guess we got a couple of questions here, and these are questions from my cousin Debbie, and she wants to know, so you worked with your dad and said for you to go to auction school, did you already have interest in being an auctioneer? Well, Debbie, I'll tell you what. I grew up in the car business with my dad. He was already in the car business, and then he opened up his own lot, and I spent as much time as I could around the lot. Uh, Hopefully, one day the lot was going to be mine to take over, and maybe my brother was going to come in with us. But he was working at the CF&I down in Pueblo at the time, so I just thought it was going to be my business. I really didn't know. And one day, my dad come to me when the economy was crashing, and he said, "Hey, the car lot cannot afford you and me and all the guys at work and everything." And he says, "I do." I do think that you probably need to go follow this job that I have for you." And I said, "Okay, what's that job?" And he says, "Well, I have you an interview with Richard Dupriest down in Amarillo, Texas, to go to work at his auction." And we had been going down there for years buying cars from him, so I knew everybody down there and stuff. So I talked to my wife, and we decided that I'd go try it. And I went down there and got hired on, and I moved back and forth every other weekend for about a year while she stayed up here and sold the house and did stuff like that. And then we moved to Texas. And I started with the name of the auction company was Anglo American Auto Auctions. And they had a manager's training program. And what happened there is you learned the auction business by becoming a manager of every department in the auction. So when you first got there, you became a manager of the lot operations. And then after that, you moved to recon. And then after that, you moved over to, let's just say you moved into sales. And then after sales, you moved into fleet lease. And after fleet lease, you moved into assistant general manager. And then you became a general manager. Well, I was, let's see here, I was a fleet lease manager, and it was a Friday. And the chief auctioneer for Anglo American Auto Auctions, his name was Jim Barnes. He showed up in Amarillo, and he was walking around talking to everybody. And he said, "I'm going to take all potential auctioneers to lunch." And I looked at my watch, and it was noon, and I was hungry. And so I just went to lunch. I had no reason I was going to be an auctioneer, because I was learning the auction business. I was going to become a general manager, and all that stuff. So I decided that I'd go to lunch, and 2 weeks later, I'm out in California, and I'm counting numbers. I'm counting to 100, up and back and up, and doing it in halves and quarters and 2.5s and everything like that. And thus I became an auctioneer. And so I got a chance to become an auctioneer through them. I just figured out that I wasn't a corporate kind of guy, and I went ahead and I spent 9 years at this place, and I really, really liked it. But I didn't like corporate life. I was not a corporate kind of guy. And so anyway, I opened up a detail shop down in Amarillo, and it was doing very well. We were a one-stop shop, and just did everything. We did windshield chip repair. We did white walls, put white walls on tires. We detailed them. We did PDR. You name it. We did a little bit of everything to the cars. It was kind of like a one-stop shop for your car. And then my wife said, we ought to go home. We need to go back to Denver, Colorado. So I told her, I says, well, I'm working at USA Auto Auction in Amarillo as an auctioneer. I got to go to Denver and see if I can get on a job being an auctioneer up there. So I get in the car and I drive up there, and that's where I meet my friend Jeff West. And, I got on there at Colorado Auction. I went over and visited with Tom Strickland. I got on at Denver Auto Auction. And then Randy Lamb and Sodi Caraway got me a job at Dealers Auto Auction. So I was working 3 sales. But there for a while, before I got them 3 sales in Denver, I would work Tuesday in Amarillo. I would drive Wednesday to Denver and work that sale. And then I would turn around and drive Wednesday afternoon to Albuquerque, work that sale on Thursday, and then I would drive home Thursday night. And I did that I think I did that for 2 years or something like that. So, that's basically how I became an auctioneer, just because I was hungry more than anything. And let's see here. She also wanted to know, does any of my siblings have an interest in being auctioneers? No, none of them do. My sister, no. My brother, like I said, he was in the steel mill, and that was his life, and so he didn't have anything wanted to do with that. And the same way with monster trucks. When I had the detail shop in Amarillo, a gentleman by the name of Glenn Larson said, hey, there's a guy going to be doing a classic car auction in town this weekend, and he said he's looking for somebody to detail his cars. Would you like to take your shop down there and have a detail shop down there? And I said, sure, we'll go down there and do that. So I packed up my shop, and we all went down there. I took all my guys down there, and we were cleaning cars and stuff like that. And then Glenn come up to me, and he knew I just got out of auction school, and Glenn said, hey, he called me Blue. He said, hey, Blue, do you want a ring for the sale? And I said, sure. I said, I'd be more than happy to. Well, I met Stanley Torgerson, and we hit it off from the beginning. And so I worked the classic car scene for a while before I even found out that Stanley had a monster truck division. And I found out one day that he had a monster truck division, and I said, hey, Doc, talk to me about this monster truck deal. What do you got going there? He goes, well, we go all over the America, and we put on monster truck shows. I said, no way. I said, what kind of trucks do you use? And he said, oh, we use Bigfoot and all that. Well, I was a Bigfoot fan. I mean, I was a big Jim Cramer fan anyway, and I just had to figure out how to get in on this deal. So I got in, and I was building tracks, and I was doing all that because I could operate heavy equipment and stuff. And I was building tracks and doing different things like that. And then one day Stanley come up to me and he goes, hey, we need an announcer in Colorado Springs. And I said, oh, man, I don't know of anybody right offhand. He goes, well, what about you? And I said, oh, no, I wouldn't be interested in being an announcer, man. I'm just not interested in it. And he said, no, you don't understand. He said, you're going to be our announcer in Colorado Springs, so I need you there, and you're going to work with a gentleman by the name of Mitch. And Mitch was Stanley's lead announcer at the time. And so I go to Colorado Springs at Penrose Stadium, and I come in the door, and I said, hey, looking for Mitch. And Mitch said, oh, I'm here. He says, you must be. And back then, they didn't call me Roller. They called me Cash Money. And then he said, you must be Cash Money. And I said, I am. I said, my name's Jeff Richards. And I said, I'm supposed to kind of follow you around and learn how to be an announcer. And he says, no, what you're doing is you're following me around to take my job. And I said, oh, no, I'm not here to take your job. I'm just here to do it for the weekend. He goes, no, you don't understand. I'm have bad health. And he says, I'm not going to be doing it anymore. And so you're the new guy. So anyway, I just learned from there. I mean, you just started out, and I always had a knack for entertaining people. When I was little, I used to put on plays for my grandma and grandpa when we'd stay at night over there, and my grandpa called me Wolfman because that was my favorite show, and I do plays like the Wolfman, or I do all kinds of different plays and stuff like that. And I go get my grandma's makeup and draw a little beard and mustache on myself, and I mean, I just thought I was the coolest cat in the world. I never had a problem as a kid talking to people, being in front of people. Uh, that never bothered me a bit. I never had a problem getting up on stage or anything like that. So anyway, that's where the monster truck stuff come in, and none of the siblings wanted to do monster trucks either. They all wanted the tickets. They all wanted to come see the shows and stuff like that, but they never did want to be an announcer like that. I was the only one that took that path. And so here's a kid growing up his whole life thinking he's going to take over his dad's car lot, and he becomes an auctioneer, and then all of a sudden he becomes a motorsports announcer, and then all of a sudden he gets a radio show down at Castle Rock Radio, and he has his own radio show. So my life took a very interesting path, and it all had to do with the auctioneering. I really believe that. The auctioneering led me into being, you know, wanting to be on the mic a lot. And then the monster trucks, they led me to be at the radio stations doing, we'd fly out Thursday night and we'd get into wherever we were going late. And then we had to be up at 4 in the morning for television at the building. And you go do that. And then you got to go do radio. And then you got to go to different displays and stuff like that. So I was always in front of the microphone with the radio station and stuff. So that's where my love for the radio program started. And so the rest is just kind of history. That's kind of a fast for 20, let's see here, 20, almost 27 years of being a monster truck announcer is what it was. So, and then for the auctioneering, God, it'll be going on, I think, let's see here. They're pretty close to 27, 28 years. There's Kevin Rutter's in the house right there. And, I've met some great auctioneer friends and got some great auctioneer friends. And I just love being up there, being up on the block and selling cars. Or, I mean, even on Tuesday, I ring over in Colorado Springs. And I love being on the floor, man. I just love the game. I love the hunt. If you don't hunt, you don't eat, right, Kevin? Right, Carter? But anyway, that's just the way it is, man. I mean, just that passion has taken and fed my family for my whole career, and for 40 years that we've been married, me and my wife. And I just love what I do. And there's not too many people out there that can say that they love what they do. I mean, you get so many people, and I feel sad for people because they're stuck in a humdrum job that they don't like, but maybe it's good pay, but they still don't like it, and they don't want to be there, and they got to force themselves to actually get out of bed in the morning to go to work and to put in an 8-hour day or whatever, and that was just never my deal. I mean, I got up in the morning. I was ready to go. Couldn't wait to get up on the block. I couldn't wait to get to the monster truck show. I couldn't wait to do the classic car auctions. It's just something that I had a passion for, and I was lucky enough that the good Lord give me those blessings, because that's what they truly are. Is they're just blessings. I mean, I thank the good Lord every night for the blessings that He's given me in my life, and I mean, yeah, He's put some bumps in the road, but those bumps make you stronger. I think those bumps they give you I don't know, courage or something like that. I don't know exactly the word I'm looking for, but they give you the passion to push yourself and make yourself even better, and to overcome anything that He puts in your way to make you stronger and makes you stronger. So I just thank Him every day, because without the good Lord walking beside me and guiding me, who knows where I'd be. I tell you one thing, I thank the good Lord for put my wife in my life, because we wouldn't be sitting here talking right now. I would be just a memory, because I was a hellraiser. I was a partier, and I wasn't an angel, you know. So I think that would have caught up with me, and probably done me in, you know. So I really thank my wife every day for, I don't know how I lucked out. I ask her that all the time. I ask her all the time, why did you pick me? Why? You know, because it's like the Barbie picking the troll that lives under the bridge, you know. And I just love her to death, and she's my rock. I'll guarantee you that right now. So just so you know, Kevin Rutter is on interview with Roller. So, have any questions or any stories you want him, feel free. Okay. Anyway, that's basically it, guys. I mean, that's basically it in a nutshell. My time as an auctioneer, my time as a radio show host, my time as a classic car auctioneer, monster truck announcer, and all the other things. And I look forward to the rest of my life. Who knows what my next path is going to be, and I'll accept it and roll with it, man. I think there's a big future here in the podcast. I'd like to see it grow a little faster, but I'm one of those ones that I want it to happen right away, and I got to learn to just sit back, relax, and let it happen. I've met some great people doing this show, and they're now in my lives, and I think those are blessings right there. I got people on there like Raul. We met at an auction. My buddy Mark Lund tried for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years to get me to go to Raul's Night Owl's car show. And every time, I'd say, Mark, I'll think about it, and I'd have something going. Well, I was out at ACC the other last year, and I did an interview with this gentleman. Didn't know who he was. Introduced himself as Raul. Had a really cool panel, man. I just loved the panel. That was one of the big reasons I stopped, because the panel was just so cool. And I did the interview and stuff, and I got home, and Mark called me up, and he goes, "That's the dude. That's the dude." And I said, "What are you talking about? That's the dude." He goes, "That's Raul. That's who has the Night Owls Car Club. And that's the one that I want you to go to his auction." Well, you know what? Me and Raul have become really good friends, and man, he has helped me so much that I couldn't begin to thank him. I really couldn't, and I enjoy being around the company that he's around, and the people that he's around. He's introduced me to a lot of people, and man, I just feel like I'm totally blessed with all this. So it's going to be a good time, and at the end of my run, I'll promise you guys I don't want nobody crying, because I just want you to say, well, Roller had a good time in his life, because I did, man. I did. I've had a great time, and I've had some fun. And, it's not always going to be roses, man. I mean, I'm dealing with that boy of mine out on the streets and stuff, and that's hard. But it's just one of those things, man, that you got to take it as it is. You got to take it as it is and roll with the feeling. Let's see here. What else? I seen something about equipment here. Where you get the heavy. Let's see here. Where it keeps. There's too many questions popping in here. Where you get the heavy equipment skills? Well, Debbie. That's Habo right now. He's just now getting free. Anyway, my dad was in the heavy equipment in the CBs and stuff like that, and my grandpa, his dad, was in there, and it was just one of those things that I just grew up as a little kid loving that stuff, and I started digging basements with a friend of mine in Pueblo called Dace Excavating, and Tommy and we worked together with his dad Ray and stuff, and I had a heavy equipment there. I worked for a friend of mine, Clarence Garcia, and his two boys, Nathan and Kevin, and we went all over Colorado. We did paving, we did concrete work, we did a little bit of everything, and I got to run equipment there, and it's just been it was just something one thing else that I love doing. I mean, I just love heavy equipment. I have a Bobcat out here on the property, and my wife accuses me of staying in it way too long. She says, "You love playing in that thing way too much." And I do. I mean, I really do. So I love big, heavy equipment. I love big trucks, big semis. I love real big, huge motor graders and scrapers and different things like that, and dozers. And uh, I mean, all that stuff is just fascinating to me. And then in the monster truck business, I got a chance to operate that kind of stuff. So that's where the heavy equipment is was from right there. I guess it's in the bloodlines of. We used to do a show in Pueblo every year, and I'd call my dad and say, "Hey, we got a big dozer out here. You need to come out and drive it around." And he'd come out and he'd get in it and mess around with it. And I mean, it was just fun to be able to do that for him and bring back those kind of memories. So it is a lot of Richardses have those skills right there running heavy equipment. You're right, Debbie, for sure. Let's see here. What else here, Kevin? They don't want to hear stories about Roller, Kevin. Okay. There's no stories to hear about Roller. That's all there is to it. Let's see here. Yeah, if you guys have any more questions, I know Habo just called or something and said that he just got free. All right, he just texted me. Let me see what he said here. Hold on just a minute. Hey, Roller. Let's see here. Whoop. Hey, Roller, I'm just now getting free. Can I still hop on? I guess we'll just call him right fast. Hold on just a second here. What time is it? 7:56. We'll give him about a half an hour to talk, I guess. Here, hold on. I had this phone shut off. Gonna have to wait a minute here to get. Let's see here. The phone's warming up here again. Okay, the regardless story with BJ. Can we hear about it? What does it mean? BJ had a friend growing up as a kid, and it was some kind of a banner back and forth when they go to do something. His friend would always say, "We're going to do it regardless," and it's just a little thing that we carried on. It doesn't mean a whole bunch or anything like that. It was just something that BJ and his buddy did back when they were kids, and we just carried the tradition on with him. So let's see here. 3, and we'll go ahead and try to get Habo here. I'd like to. Let's see here. Let's try it one more time here. We'll see if we can get him on here.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available.
He wants to be on the show,
at the
but
tone.
he wants, we're just going to, I'll just have to text him back and just tell him, "Hey, man, I tried 4 times to get you on," and that's just, let's see here. Hold on, I'll just send him a message. Oh, here we go. Hold on, this might be him. Hello?
Hey, Roller.
Yeah, who's this, Habo?
It is.
Hey, man, hold on here just a minute. Let me take off this thing right here. Yeah, man, I tried to call you 3 or 4 times and didn't have no luck getting a hold of you. So I guess, did you not get my message? We're going to be on at 7:15.
I did. I took a nap, and I'm out here on the East Coast, so it's 9:15, whatever it was supposed to
Uh,
start for me.
oh, okay. All right. Well,
So,
things
so
happen, right? Well, we're here now
yeah, my
anyway.
apologies. Yeah, we're here. I woke up. I'm like, oh no. So,
Yeah, it's just one of those things that happens, man. I guess people, people get tired. So, what are you doing out on the East Coast?
I'm doing BMX shows right now, and then I'm going to Monsters on the Beach this weekend.
Oh, are you announcing it?
No, I'm just out there doing some media work this weekend.
Are you? Well, good, man. So, I guess what we need to do is start from day one. When you were a young man, and it seems like there's a pattern with monster truck drivers and people in the monster truck business. It's either they either did some BMX or they did some motocross. And I happened to do both when I was young, and you were into BMX too. So why don't we start from the BMX days?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, um, I'd say I just started riding skate parks whenever I was 13, and then after that, kind of just got progressing, and then I'd say 18, 19. That's whenever I started getting some like real sponsors and some backing and getting taken around the country.
Uh huh.
And yeah, I was riding for Dance Comp at one point, which
Okay.
is the nation's largest bike shop,
Yep.
like mail order.
Yep.
Then Tree Bicycle Co., Nowhere Extreme Rider Apparel, and I still ride for those two brands.
Do you really?
But yeah, at 33, you know, so that's what's kind of got me going with that. And I've been riding for Trees since I was 19,
Wow.
and I'm 33 now.
Have you ever done any riding with Joey Sylvester? He's into the
Um,
BMX.
yeah, partially. He came to whenever I met him. He was at Lafayette, Louisiana, and him and Jared Smith are pedaling mountain bikes around the parking lot. And whenever we all met, I was telling him, "Hey, I ride bikes too." And then, yeah, rest is history. Joe was actually, I have ridden bikes with Joe at Ray's Mountain Bike Park, and we didn't even realize or plan on being there,
Uh huh.
because I was out there in Ohio doing bike shows, and everyone goes and rides the park on the weekend. I'm like, why does that guy look familiar? And I'm like, dude, that's Joe. Joey's so
Yeah, he's into it pretty hard, I guess, and still is. Got some beautiful bikes. I don't know what kind they are, but really some nice bikes, man. They really look nice. Are you there? Guess I lost.
Yep, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm here.
all right.
With riding with Joey that one night, I'm more freestyle and technical bike riding.
Uh huh.
He's more go fast, ride the dirt jumps, and he took right off on me. Whenever we were riding through the park, but then whenever we went back to the skate park, it's just a whole different monster.
Oh yeah, well
You
of
know.
course. So you're the one that you're doing all the tricks and all that stuff,
Yeah, yeah. He was more downhill racer,
right?
which really makes sense the way it translated to the way he drove and did everything on the monster truck.
So, I mean, and then our stories are sort of similar, man. You're just in the right place at the right time. And, Danny Mass one day says, "Hey, man, that guy over there can announce a show." And that's where you started your career announcing monster trucks, man. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's being at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I remember at that point, everyone was kind of coming out of COVID at that point in 2021, and I had been doing the luxury apartment leasing out in Denver, and I had this 360 camera, and I was following toughest out there in my region, just going putting my camera on the tracks, not even for pay, just to do it because sake of the game, and I was just kind of up there hanging out because they're 3 hours north of me.
Uh huh.
And yeah, everyone was like, I caught wind. They're freaking out because they're like, "Oh, who's gonna do the show? Who's gonna do the show?" And I'm kind of sitting in the seats hanging out with them. And yeah, Danny had pointed out, told him Habo does bike stuff, and he's been doing events for 10 years.
Uh
And
huh.
they're like, "Why didn't anyone tell us this?" And they're like, "Well, no one asked. I was there just doing camera stuff."
Right.
And I'm not trying to step on toes and take, you know what I mean? I was so
Yes.
new. I'm just like, whatever happens, happens. I didn't know I could do that yet.
Right.
Um, and yeah, and at that point, I was very fresh, and it's like, I, I told him, I'm like, it'd be choppy, but we can get through it. I'm not saying I could give at that point in my career, I couldn't go out there and give what I could now.
Right.
And it's way different. You can watch a show a million times, but until you do it yourself, you don't know what it's going to be like.
Boy, that's the truth, man. It's it's a different beast when you got everybody out there looking at you. When you become the center of attention, I mean, you're like, oh shit, everybody's sitting here staring at me right now because I'm talking, and I got to know I got to act like I know what I'm doing here.
Yeah. And I can tell you a funny one. There was one show, it was Loveland, Colorado. I think the second year, or maybe even first season I was doing it with him. Scott was like, go do intros. And I'm like, okay. I went out there and tanked those intros because I did like I didn't have the National Guard spiel anthem. I just had blind confidence. I'm like, yeah, I'll go figure it out.
Yeah.
And yep, no, didn't really. I stayed co-host after that because yeah, it was my, maybe I'd done a dozen shows at the time. Granted,
Right.
you've been watching them your whole life, but like I was saying, until you do it yourself, you're just like, oh wow, this is not a BMX jam. This is a
No.
little more proper. You gotta
Yeah.
know your T's, your I's, where you gotta be, and you know,
That's
it's
that's the truth,
yeah,
man. God,
yeah.
it's I'm just sitting here having flashbacks of my first days and stuff. Have you ever had one of them nights where of course, with I learned from a gentleman by the name of Stanley Torgerson, and when you work with Stanley, you were the announcer, you ran your own music, you did all that stuff yourself, and you had to learn how to do everything. Do you have people that runs the music for you at the toughest monster truck tour?
Yeah, whenever we were doing the toughest shows, we would have Colby Marshall from the Monster Blog.
Right.
He would be up there running the music, and he does the ribbon boards and graphics and everything else,
Uh huh.
up in the booth, and then I'd be down there on the floor. So I was very taken care of at toughest. And then now that I'm working for Monster Truck Wars with Mike Harper doing shows, thanks, man. Uh, yeah, with doing shows at Harper now, I'm doing the music and doing all those cues on top of announcing. Because obviously with Toughest, I was Scott Heaton's sidekick, which is the
Sure.
best dude to work next to.
Oh yeah,
And then
guaranteed.
now with this one, I'm the main guy doing everything. So now my intros and national anthem spiels and everything else are a little more dialed and consistent now, and I'm getting the seat time over at Monster Truck Wars.
Right, right. Yeah, it's I mean it's a different. I remember my first show that I had to announce, do the intros, call spots with the Qualcomm, and do my own music and everything. I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, man, but you learn to do it, and then we've had a couple of guys from Jam come over, Big Tex McDermott. Do you know Tex?
Yeah, I've heard the name. I don't
Yeah.
know him personally.
He's a good guy, man, and he come to Abilene one time and he tried to work with us, and he goes, okay, now who runs your music? I said, well, you do, and he goes, I announce and run the music. I said, yeah, and I said, by the way, you got to call spots here too. You got to do all that, and he goes, I can't do that. I said, well, you can. You just got to get out there and do it. But it's a different beast when you're working for a smaller company, man. But I think it gives you more, I don't know, more knack, more, on the fly kind of stuff. Because there's been times, and I was going to ask you, have you ever had one of your songs not play where you had to sing the national anthem?
I have not had that happen yet. So at Toughest, we were thankful enough to have singers
Uh huh.
most of the time.
Right.
Um, Over here at the Harper shows, I just play Leanne Rhymes. And thankfully, iPads are pretty awesome nowadays, and they kind of do what you
Yeah.
tell
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I haven't had too many hiccups or glitches yet. with intros and stuff. We've had lights not go dark before. There was actually 2 weeks ago at a Monster Truck Wars show, the frequency in the air from the building
Yep.
security radio channel
Yeah.
made all the trucks shut off during intros.
Oh man.
Yeah, all the trucks started, did a half lap, they all rolled and stopped, restarted, and kept going. And I'm like, what was that?
Yeah. Been there, done that,
You know?
man. Been there, done that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
When I first started, we had to do everything off of CDs. So I carried two CD players, and I carried five books of different music, that you had to play. And one time I was in Colorado Springs, and I told my buddy, I said, I have to be on the floor for this. And I said, I need you to play this CD, and then this CD, and then this CD. And they were all numbered. And I said, do you have that? And he goes, yeah, no, not a problem. It's all good. So I get down there, and first we kick it off, and we do the tribute song, and we do all that stuff, and, do all the intros for the monster trucks and stuff. And I said, now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand? And that was his cue to start playing the music. I said, would you please stand, remove your hats for the national anthem? And all of a sudden, Van Halen or something comes on. It's like, and I'm like, oh no, what am I doing? And I look up there, and this guy's got 20 CDs in his hand, and he don't know which one's what. And so I said, well, things happen, man, and I gotta sing. And dude, I cannot sing. I cannot sing to save my life. But after I got done, I even forgot a verse. I was so nervous. I forgot a verse to the national anthem, and everybody still gave me a big round of applause because you could hear my knees knocking. It was crazy, man. So just little
Yeah,
old stuff, that old school shit.
yeah. It turns into like the chaos for yourself, the things that don't end up going right, or any with doing music now as well. I definitely stay up at the booth, controlling it the whole time. They do static intros at Monster Truck Wars, so
Uh huh.
once everyone's off the track, I'll kind of start yapping, and once I get to the cues, and the trucks just start doing their hot laps and intros and whatnot. So, yeah, wild stuff
Oh, it is
sometimes.
guaranteed, man. It really is. So, in your career, now, how long have you been an announcer?
I would say I've been doing monster trucks for probably 5.5 to 6 years.
Okay.
And then BMX wise, I'd say 2013 was whenever I started not hosting. Well, yeah, hosting like events, but there other people would organize the events, and then they'd be like, "Hey, Habo, you can announce."
Right.
It's kind of how it started. Right place, right time. Because I was doing, I think the first one I ever got paid to do, I made $100 off of Fox doing a dirt jump jam in St. Louis. And my friend, they didn't know, well, I didn't know what to do. I just go out there and kind of figure it out, and kind of turns into a little bit of roast comedy and freestyling. And yeah, the rest is kind of history after that. Just kind of kept calling, kept calling. Then I started doing my own events and producing them, and now at this point, I have a contest series that goes throughout the state of Colorado doing freestyle events.
Well, cool, man. Now,
Uh,
is that run pretty hard during the summer months?
I got 5 weekends from June 20th all the way down to October 21st. So kind of like once a month. 1 month might have two of them, one at the beginning, one at the end.
Uh huh.
But with doing monster truck shows and bike shows, once school lets out, like the school year, like normal school,
Right.
um, I'm like jamming out here on the East Coast doing everything because the end of the school year, like reward shows, like they read enough. Some schools do a walkathon, or they'll do a bunch of testing, or they'll raise a bunch of money, and then they'll book a bicycle show, and then we're the reward most of the time for the kids doing good at school.
Uh huh. Well,
Yeah, so we're jamming out here on the East Coast right now. That's how I'm able to pop up at Monsters on the Beach this weekend, because I'm doing BMX shows 3 hours north.
perfect. That's nothing when you're
Yeah,
that close. You got to go.
exactly. Especially whenever you normally live in Denver.
Yeah.
Um, I I did that with, I mean, I do that with a lot of events. I was doing that with going to Elias Casino shows because they'd be towards the end of the summer. That's how I did the Cookout Monster Truck Bash out at Charlotte last year because I had bike shows out there. So they really scratch each other's back when it comes to just like being located near enough to go enjoy a show
Uh-huh.
or be like, hey, I can go work a show, you know? 'Cause, I think 2 weekends ago, Preston Collins was in Jurassic Attack driving over here in Maryland, and they were 30 minutes south of me. So my BMX buddy, I'm like, hey, you want to go to a monster truck show? And they're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I got a wildlife you're about to learn about, you know?
Yeah.
So I didn't even tell him. And we pull up, and he's like, why are we at a monster truck show? I'm like, dude, that's my other job. Except thankfully, we're just watching today,
Right.
you know?
Do you get the phone call from people all the time? Hey man, I know there's a show in town. Can you get me some tickets? And you're like, dude, that's Monster Jam. I have nothing to do with Monster Jam. I can't help you with Monster Jam tickets. I wouldn't know who to begin to talk with. Uh, People just don't understand that there's different companies out there. They think there's just one big company and they have all these monster trucks and man, Roller and Habo can just do whatever they need to do to get tickets for anybody.
Oh yeah, I mean every time the St. Louis show with Jam comes to town, my
Yeah,
friends will start reaching out asking for tickets, and it's like you don't blame them, but you just kind of know, oh, monster trucks must be in St. Louis or
right.
this and that. The fun thing for me though, with some of the Monster Jam events, one of my good friends, Micah Kranz, he owns the giant roll-in and mini mega ramps that they use for the Monster Jam pit party
Uh huh.
shows on top of the roll-in that they use for the Supercross BMX contest in the parking lot.
Uh huh.
So whenever they come to town, I text Micah and I go to Monster Jam as a BMX rider and not a monster truck person. So I'll be over there hanging out doing monster truck stuff and our BMX stuff at the Monster Jam show, and I walked in to sign in wearing the 50th Bigfoot hoodie. And this old lady's like, well, you know, you guys don't wear that around here. I started saying something. I'm like, lady, it's been 28 years. Let it go. And
Right.
then,
Exactly.
and and then you see her kind of like, has it been that long? Because she had been with Feld, I guess, for 20 or 30 years, you know, signing people in back there. Obviously, she was just being an old lady poking at me.
Right.
But then I seen some of the people because you know I'm a BMX rider, so it's why does the BMX guy have Bigfoot merch on?
Right.
You know, so that's a fun role I'll have. So yeah, I went to East Rutherford last year. Denver, they come through. So my BMX buddies do hit me up so they can go ride the mini mega ramp at the Monster Jam show, and then they get into Monster Jam because they got to go ride.
Right.
But in that space, I'm a BMX guy. I don't say anything about me doing monster trucks because you just don't know. You never know.
Yeah, you
And
don't.
it's their show. I'm not trying to walk in and be somebody. I'm just here to enjoy monster trucks.
Exactly.
You know.
I mean, and it's hard to do especially when you got people around that go, "Hey, I know you, and I've seen you, and hey, you're this guy, aren't you?" And you're like, "Yeah, yeah, but I'm just here chilling out, man. Just let me chill out and enjoy my night. Here, that's all I want to do. I'm not looking to do anything
Yeah.
else." But
Yeah.
anyway,
No, it's to go
that's
off
the
as a
life we've
fan.
taken. That's such is right.
Yeah. And it's cool when it happens.
Oh yeah,
You know.
guaranteed, guaranteed. I mean, it's gotten us some perks. Sometimes, I mean, me and my wife will be someplace and she'll come over and say, "Hey, they bought your dinner over there," and you look over there and there's a bunch of monster truck people over there, and they're like, "Hey, Roller, what's going on, man?" My wife said,
Yeah.
Are you kidding, man? Everywhere you go, you know somebody." Well, after 20 over 20, I'm just going to say over 25 years, closer to 27, but 25 years, you learn to meet a lot of people, guaranteed for sure.
Yeah. Definitely.
So what do you look for uh, in your career? What do you hope to do with your career? What's your main goal?
Man, I'm not too sure as of now. It kind of keeps rolling. Obviously the event announcing is great, but it'd be cool, maybe like 10, 15 years, maybe produce, my own show in good time if I have enough, money to afford a solid lineup and, take the risk and everything. Because, everyone that seems to be working for somebody right now is employed by someone, in their mid 40s, early 50s, because they're the ones that's been holding the game down for a while.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just kind of sponge off of all the people I've worked with and kind of see all the aspects of the production of the business when it comes to like toughest and seeing them come to these venues and what it takes to put it on behind the scenes and all the chaos with the merch and counting it in, the food beverage people, your security staffing, like every little tiny aspect of producing a show is what I like, and then it
Right.
all leads up to event day and it's all this crazy chaos and then it all happens and hopefully no one hits a wall and you get out of town good.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you always hope for. You're so right, man. Guaranteed on that. I promise you. You know, when you're working for Toughest and then you go in and you work for like Harper and them guys and stuff, do you find yourself having a hard time to adapt or anything like that? I mean, especially if you do 4 or 5 Harper shows and then all of a sudden Toughest calls you and says, "Hey, we got one this weekend. We need you to come do and stuff." I mean, do you have trouble adjusting to stuff like that?
Not so much. The only thing I really have trouble with is saying race fans, or I've almost been like, all right, class, because I talk to so many kids doing
Sure.
BMX shows
Right.
that, I've almost called an arena or addressed them as a class instead of a crowd. But
Yeah.
other than that, I mean, it's monster trucks. I mean, and very similar to the bike shows. It's like, what banners do you want to hang and what shirts do you want to wear, whenever you're giving this presentation? Obviously, with Toughest, you put on the Toughest merch and it's still monster trucks,
Yeah, guarantee.
Then over here at Harper's, it's still monster trucks. It's a little more like Hot Wheels on dirt, which is totally cool for the kiddos, and then you're not going out there and dogging the trucks as hard as you do over here at Monster Truck Wars,
Right.
which is totally okay because I mean, there's people over here that are keeping their lights on that have consistent work. You don't have to go out there and redefine monster trucks every weekend, but you can go out there and just keep it enjoyable and just chill.
Yeah. So in your short term career so far, what is some of the most spectacular thing you've seen so far? Something in the business.
Probably the gnarliest jump would be Jerry back at the casino 3 years ago,
Uh huh.
give or take. That one was bad. I'm pretty sure he compressed his spine pretty good.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and those shows were fun because there would be like unsaid to the crowd driver bonuses. So it's like first person, and these are just examples. These weren't actual ones, but it's like whoever gets the biggest scare, extra pay on the show pay, or crash of the day, or first person to do a backflip gets this bonus. Like it's cool whenever the promoters can give those incentives to get the drivers to go drive harder. Where it's like in the driver's eyes, there's little cash bonuses on the track. The fans have no idea about it,
Right.
but yeah, the casino show, Jerry Beck, that was a wild one. Um, Man, anytime Tim Jones hit the track, that was always like, here we go. Um, yeah, too much stuff. Like I was telling you in the stuff I sent over, like Tim ripping the axle out at the Cajun Dome one year,
Yeah.
just doing a reverser. That one was pretty bad, and I mean, it was entertaining as hell. It was awesome, but yeah, I run down there to try to do an interview with Tim, and he's just like, nope, shakes his head. He's all pissed. Yeah, I mean, rightfully so. He's independent, and he just tore the ass end off of his truck. So I could imagine being a little upset at yourself at
Oh
that
yeah,
moment.
guaranteed, man. I mean, it's just one of those things that you're like, damn, man. I just I got to work 2 shows in a row now to pay for the damage I did here, and I'm supposed to be coming back for freestyle, So yeah, it's a tough game when you're just an independent out there and doing that stuff. But let's see here, what else we got? Oh, you know, some of the stuff that these newer drivers are doing, what do you think of that? I mean, some of these people from Gem, like take for instance some of these young ladies that are behind the wheel of these trucks. Pretty amazing stuff, don't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, if you put anyone in a machine that's capable and tell them to hit the gas with no remorse, I mean, something's going to happen. You know, whether it takes skill or lack of. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
beauty of monster trucks. I mean, if you
yeah,
go out there and crash and eat shit, oh well, that was cool. Zero skill, but that was cool
yeah,
to the people that don't know. Versus, I mean, you hear it whenever you hear certain people hit the track. You can hear the throttle rhythm of someone that's like holding on, hoping for the best, versus someone with the finesse, like the Menengas, the Englands, and the people that can really go out there and kind of tiptoe the truck with that level of balance and like technicality versus just kind of mashing the throttle and hanging on.
right,
Oh yeah, you see it with some.
yeah.
We're all watching the same shows.
Right. So I guess, ladies and gentlemen, the best way to tell that how Habo and I met was I was going through Facebook Marketplace one night, and here's a Bigfoot piece off of a truck. It's a bedside, and I'm like, oh, I wonder how this person got this, So I get online and we start talking and stuff, and I'm shooting questions at him, and man, he's firing questions right back, and I was like, wow, this guy knows exactly what he's talking about. And then come to find out, man, you're working with the folks from Bigfoot at their open house, the big show there, what they do every year. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that's one of those dream come true moments because
Yeah.
I, back in the day, so my initial inception, I guess you could say, technically I'm an RC car guy
Right.
because I originally raced with the Trigger King series that Bigfoot put on for a long time back in when it started. I'd say like 2014, 15-ish. I started racing with those guys. I didn't realize who was out there racing RC cars. I was just, Danny said, get an RC car, come race. This is fun. And then, the Childresses are out there. Obviously, Bobby Chandler's doing it. But you just have all this lineage of monster truck folk in that area that I didn't recognize them because they're older now. I was just there to do my own thing, but getting my foot in the door with those guys, just dorking around with RC cars, is kind of what initially roped me into monster trucks. They were generous enough, Bigfoot back in, I would say 2018, 2019-ish. They would, anytime they come out to the Colorado area, Danny and Bobby would put the Trigger King camera in the Bigfoot rig, and then I would just show up to the show, get a wristband, go grab their camera gear that I knew how to use, and then I would just go sit in the stands and film for Bigfoot, and then put it all back, and they'd have footage, and that was my initial like, hey, I'm helping out, I have something to do. Because I didn't even have my own camera gear at the time,
Right.
So yeah, they would come out there. It was 2019 whenever Buddy Tompkins drove at the Kickers show with the black and white Cometic body, if you remember that.
I do.
Uh, yeah, because they blew the motor at the second show in racing, and they were super bummed, or the organizer was, because they're like, we can roll it out for pit party. That's it. So yeah, that's how I started getting my foot in the door, and then I started, chasing Toughest and all that. Bigfoot was the headliner. So, I mean, like I was saying, Danny Mass really helped me out with all that. He rode bikes back in the day down at the dirt jumps in St. Louis, and that's how we ended up meeting, ended up getting each other's Facebooks that night. And he had a bunch of monster truck pictures, and I didn't even have like monster truck friends yet.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, yo, you mess with monster trucks? I like monster trucks. Like, what's up with this? And I mean, he was just out of high school, and I think I'm a year older than him. So we had to be 18 or 19, when that happened.
Sure.
And I think I started actually commentating whenever I was 27-ish, 28-ish.
Uh-huh.
So it took some time, but just kept going to shows, and it just kept getting, just snowballing. And
Right.
then now it sounds like, so I won't be commentating with Toughest next year. Just unfortunate budget cuts is nothing I did wrong.
Right.
And then I'm pretty much getting comfy over here at Monster Truck Wars. So I believe going into the fall and first quarter, I'll be working with them full time. Because I've done 4 weekends out with Monster Truck Wars at this point.
Uh-huh.
So just getting seat time, learning their show, and knowing how to give that presentation.
Right.
Their main announcer, BK Moody, he's a pastor and he's getting more into the pastor work, and which is great for him, and his business is booming over there. So all the weekends he can't make it to Monster Truck Wars, they've been given to me as like fill-in work for him.
Perfect, man. Another right
Yeah,
place at the right time, right?
yeah, because I had pretty much done 2 weekends with Monster Truck Wars, and Toughest ended. Then they ran their numbers and was like, "Hey, dude, we love you, but the economy is just not doing good right now." And whenever we're talking about diesel fuel and monster trucks and getting these rigs around the nation, I mean, it is a crazy game right now
Sure.
for the drivers and everyone alike. So, it was no hard feelings, and I'm definitely still going to be around. I'll help out with the social media and stuff like that. But whenever we say buying a ticket helps, like it really does, guys. It's a prime example of it.
Yeah, guaranteed. So what is it like? I mean, these guys are my friends. I've worked with them forever. What is it like for you to work with a guy like Colby Marshall or Ross Bonar or Danny Mass? I mean, we've done so many shows together as a group in my career that these guys are legendary in my world. I love them to death. What does it feel like to you to work with these kind of guys?
But my favorite part of it is, whenever I first met these guys, obviously I knew Danny through bikes,
Sure.
but they were all RC car people to me.
Uh huh.
I knew they did the Monster blog from just watching it growing up and everything else.
Right.
But whenever I started racing RC cars with them, I didn't realize it was as legit as it was, and received and looked at as respected as it is, because obviously I always watched it, and that was the news source for all the independent shows back in the day, and everyone to lurk around for footage of stuff that wasn't Monster Jam, right?
Uh huh.
And yeah, so for me, I raced RC cars with them. That's how I got to know them. And then whenever they were helping the toughest, and I started coming around, it felt like we were all doing RC cars again. But now we're all doing monster trucks.
Yeah.
And yeah, and Ross had left before I really got in with toughest.
Uh huh.
He was there. Actually, I have a great Ross story, because I'm the new guy. I don't know anyone. I know Danny and a couple people, and
Right.
they're starting to bring me around. And I think it was Loveland, Colorado, maybe 2017, 16. I think it was Dan Runte's last show.
I was there.
Whenever, yeah. So I was also there, and I go down there to hang out after the show because we all love doing that.
Yeah.
And Ross had a bottle of liquor, but I can't remember what it was. Apparently, or I think scotch, because you're supposed to sip scotch, and it's like a breathing exercise. And they're like, "Habo, you want some scotch?" I'm like, "Sure, yeah, I'm not scared." And this is blind confidence. I'm like, "Oh, they're pouring up liquor. I guess we're gonna take shots." So he pours this expensive scotch, and I just slug it, knock the whole thing back. And they didn't tell me. See, you're laughing too. They all kind of started looking at each other whenever I did this, because I didn't know you couldn't do that. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna go outside. I'm getting pretty warm." And
I was waiting for this.
yeah, and they're like, "Why'd you slug it like that?" I'm like, "Well, it's liquor. There's a shot." And they're like, "It's not a shot."
No.
I'm like, "Oh, there's a shot for me." And then that was the only show I ever did with Ross with Toughest, because I don't know if it was his last year or what the deal was with all that, but they all remembered that, because it's like, "Oh yeah, this guy likes to party," or something like that.
Yeah.
Is what it turned into.
Right.
Um,
Guaranteed. That's funny, man, that you
So
did
yeah,
that. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah.
we were both at the same place at the same time. Did you go to the party back in the back where they had the awards and all that back there? Were you back there at the same time?
Um, May I don't know if it was like all the awards and stuff. I'm not too sure.
Uh-huh.
Might have been the year after. It's kind of fuzzy because I think 16 was his last show, so I might have been there in 17 because that's whenever I officially moved to Denver from St. Louis.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah,
You know.
those guys are amazing. Raul, you have a good night, my friend. I'll talk to you soon. But yeah, it's I just wish we could tell the stories of some of the stuff that was after the shows, and having some fun and drinking some Captain Morgan with Runty and everybody,
Yeah, yeah,
just such a lot of fun it was. It was just a great time. I miss that man so much. Me and him were buds, and it really hit me pretty hard, man, when he in fact, Larry and I have been talking about doing a tribute show, and every time I call him to say, "Are you ready?" It's just like he goes, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm not ready to talk about it yet." So uh,
yeah,
I don't know when that's going to happen, but when it does, it's going to be a good show. I know that, but just a shame that you lose some of the great ones like that, because he was the best, man. He really
yeah.
was, really
I
good.
was putting the I was putting together my intro speech for open house this year, and um, obviously there's some Runte words that I was getting written out and ready, so I don't mess it up because obviously everyone. I mean, it's going to be a snakebite anniversary and a Runte Memorial Day,
Yeah,
essentially, if I had to envision it. So I'll probably have people come up and share some Dan stories, and uh, I'm going to do a little Dan remembrance spiel. I mean, it's only maybe like 60 to 90 seconds long, but it gets the point across, and
sure.
we can all cheer and clap for
I
a
got a
fallen legend.
I got a song uh, that I made when he passed, and if you wanted to use it for anything, I would be more than happy to let me look at it here right fast. Uh, uh, hmm, let's see here. Okay, I'm going to play this right fast for you, let you listen to it, and then when we get back, we'll talk a little bit more about Bigfoot and stuff like that, and then we'll play your song. But this song here is one that I wrote, and this is called "My Brother Dan." We'll be right back here. We're talking to Habo Gutierrez, guys, from the Toughest Truck Monster Truck Tour, and now he's working for Harper and them, and this man's on fire, man. He's everywhere. We'll be right back here with Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music.
I lost my brother Dan today. God took him away to the monster truck show in heaven. From 18 years old, he was following his dream of being the best driver that he could be. Engines roaring loud, flying higher than the rest. My brother Dan was the best, but now he's riding high in that monster truck show way up in the sky, where the ramps are endless and the engines never die. Dan, you are my brother, my friend till the end. I will miss you till I see you again. And then golden gates open wide. jumped an airplane that left the crowd and all, but the man off the track was the best thing I saw. If you needed advice or just needed a friend, Dan was a man you could count on again and again. Now he's riding high in God's monster truck show way up in the sky. For all the angels and the tires keep turning and the cheers never die. Dan, you are my brother, my friend till the end. I will miss you till I see you again. It's hard to say goodbye, but I know it's not the end. In one day we'll do shows together again. Someday I'll climb that big dirt ramp and do our interviews all over again. Together forever on the other side. Yeah, he's riding high in that monster truck show way up in the sky, where legends live forever and our spirits will be free. Dan, you are my brother, my friend till the end. I'll see you again when them gates open wide, and we'll be together again. So keep on driving, my brother, till I catch up one day. We'll have some Captain Morgan again in heaven where we'll catch up again. So rest in peace till I see you again.
Brother Dan right here on Pedal to the Metal, Motors and Music. Yeah, he was a great man, dude. He was a great man, and if you got the chance to meet him, you were a lucky man for sure. I'll guarantee you that right now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So,
Um,
what? When is the open house? What date is that on?
I believe it's June 13th.
June
Let
3rd.
me double check real quick. I'm almost certain it's June 13th because I have it on my calendar and everything else.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, Snakebite 35th anniversary. That's gonna be a good one.
Oh, guaranteed.
Yep, June 13th, Bigfoot Open House. It'll be old school exhibition. Sergeant Smash is always there. Bunch of displays. Now it is going to be a little bit smaller than last year's 50th anniversary blowout, but it'll still be a good time at Bigfoot's Open House.
Oh, guaranteed. And it's just a one-day event, isn't it?
Yep, it's basically a 2-session, one-day event. They'll run old school trucks at, I want to say, normally about noon, and then you'll do like 2 or 3 of the race truck sessions after the old school guys. So it's real casual monster trucking, but I mean, it's for Bigfoot, so we're all there. The diehards come out and everyone brings their fiberglass, and it
Right.
almost feels like a the Hall of Fame crowd. Like a very similar crowd you get at the Hall of Fame banquets
Right,
is very similar to who shows up at Bigfoot when it comes to the diehards.
right.
You know.
Behind me, and from when I had Monster Truck Radio, behind me right here, I have a bedside off of Bigfoot Xbox truck, and it was signed by Dave Harkey, and it was the truck that they debuted down in Tucson when they brought it out, and Harkey tipped it over and wrecked it, and he gave me a bedside on it, and I still have that. And I tried to buy the cab and the hood and all that, but somebody had already purchased it. So I'm ever forever trying to track that down. I'd like to have that whole side of that truck, if I could ever find it and get it in my collection. But that's kind of one that didn't last very long, and I definitely have a piece of it for sure.
Yeah, my favorite piece that I have is, and you may have even came up and seen this truck at Loveland. It was basically the blue trophy truck version of Power Wheels
Oh yeah,
in
yep,
2021.
yep,
They only made that one specific body
uh huh.
for, and I think it ran for about 6 weeks, and then it tipped back over on at a toughest show, and I think Josh Gibson was driving it, and I got the right rear bedside off of it.
Do you really?
Yep, that one I won't sell at
Yeah.
all. The other one was cool, but I needed some gas money to get to some shows. So
Sometimes you got to get rid of your toys. It's just like I have a bedside from the identity theft what Bill Payne made to look like Gravedigger, and it was off the
yeah,
debut truck, and sits in my shop still to this day, and I mean, it was just something that, I mean, that truck looks so much like Gravedigger that even when I come around the corner at first, I thought, wow, Gravedigger's here. It was
yeah,
just too close. So they had to cease and desist it, and in fact, I had the gentleman on that drove it, and I told him, I said, if you want it, you can have it. I'll give it to you since it was your truck and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. But I'm a big Bigfoot fan myself, man, and I found that I was always kind of partial when a Bigfoot truck was at the shows, that I was always trying to push for the Bigfoot truck, and trying to be the professional announcer, and not be biased, but it's when you're a fan of something that has, I mean, I grew up with, Kramer and everybody, and to think that I am personal friends with Jim Kramer and guys like that, uh, it's just it's just overwhelming sometimes that I grew up with these guys, not thinking that I'd ever meet them, and know Bob Chandler and guys like yourself and stuff like that, man. The monster truck world is an amazing world, is what I guess I'm trying to say.
yeah, and it's one of those worlds where, for me, I always compare it to BMX, where it's like the people that you look up to that may be your heroes are kind of just average folk like
That's it.
anyone else. They just happen to have a cool job where people get to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And it's never too far out of reach. Like you saying, and myself, we all know all these people, but whenever you get to know them, it's like they don't have the egos. I mean, some might have an ego if they win a lot at first, but everyone's just kind of good old boys. Just thankfully, we're having fun.
They never did. I've never known any of the Bigfoot guys to have that ego that were like, "Oh, I'm a Bigfoot man," and everybody was always humble, man. That's what I liked about them all. Eric Tack and everybody like that. Larry Swim and just
Yeah,
all of them. They were just all just really class guys. Gene, I've had Gene Patterson on when I had Monster Truck Radio. He was on the show, and I've had him on there, and just a bunch of the old drivers, man, and they were just all so humble to talk to. It was just so cool to be able to live the past, man, and as a kid, and here you are talking to one of your idols. That's what's kind of cool.
exactly. You know.
So
Um,
what's your dream show? What's
dream show?
yeah, what's your dream show? What would you like to be have your dream show at, and what are the trucks that you'd like to have there?
Oh man, you know what I've always wanted to do to kind of bring back the whole like someone wanting to make themselves. I mean, location, obviously, whatever is cool, affordable, and whatever. Obviously for me, Edward Jones Dome because I grew up going there, even when it was the TWA Dome back in
Uh-huh.
the day.
Yeah.
But one thing that I've noticed with monster trucks, and you could probably attest to this too, is that you know people drive for show pay, right? They don't drive. Some people just want to make their passes and get in, get out, not hurt the truck because it is work. It is a business, right?
Right.
But you don't have that like people want to be the star mentality. They don't want to be the man. They just want to get their merch money, show pay, and leave. And I always thought it would be cool concept to do a. You need a bunch of money to make this happen, but essentially like a real open drive, open sign up tournament where it's like this isn't show pay, this isn't you're driving for merch money and a performance fee. You come out and if you win, you get a shit ton of money. If not, maybe you should have drove better.
I like it. I like that idea, man. That's I tell you what, it would really put the best of the best against each other, and you'd see some hellacious driving.
Yeah, and you kind of try to eliminate the whole like, hey, if this is open signups and let's say in a hypothetical world you get a six-figure purse together, like pro purse for the drivers. And I mean, they'll shit, they could send six trucks, send their best guys, fucking get your best independents, and
Yeah.
actually have a real contest and see who is the best instead of each organization picking their star and telling us they're the best.
Right.
Uh, you know,
Oh, I think that would be
but
cool.
yeah, it'd be something different and something no one has seen before. And granted, I need way more money to make this happen, obviously, in a dream world, but I watched it happen in skateboarding. They did this event called the Maloof Money Cup. And it was the first time someone was going to make $100,000 off of skateboarding
Wow.
at one show. And to be able, if there was something like that or an outside entity that had enough money that wanted to come into the monster truck world for a year or two and throw all this money at it and just see what happens. Because it's essentially like you would look at almost every promoter as their own league, and then it's like you have Gravedigger representing Monster Jam, you have so and so representing this organization, but obviously the way things intertwine, no one would ever let that happen, right? Because
Yeah.
there's a little too much pride in it, a little too
Oh
much
yeah.
dollars and this and that, and it's just it'd be a cool aspect. It would just be hard to justify it, and especially someone going there with their truck, putting in all this hard work to want to be number one instead of just, hey, I'm gonna get my show pay and merch money and see you around.
Yeah. Well, and that would be bragging rights, you know. I mean, damn, you could say I ran against Kohler and I ran against all kinds of different guys, and I beat them, and I'm the best there is, and that's in the monster truck world. That feeds a pretty big ego right there.
Yeah, instead of it being like obviously the I think there's like the Monster Jam World Finals like pre-show thing where they
Yeah.
pick the drivers. And if you look at it, it's like, well, none of this is surprising. If we take the skill away from everyone, I mean, almost everyone who is employed and drives the Monster Jam is almost in the World Finals now at this point,
This is
in
true.
some way,
Yeah.
which is cool. That's fun. This is a good show, but it's not as good as a competition as it used to be. Some of the young dudes want to be number one, but clearly we saw this season Monster Jam will only let you be number one if you are cleared to do so.
Yeah. That's the truth,
And
man.
that's the unfortunate side of it. So it'd be cool to bring back genuine competition and find people like think of Tom and Dennis.
Oh
Those
yeah.
guys both wanted to be the best, and they each set that standard to get each other to go higher and drive better each and every weekend. And
Right.
it's like if you don't have anyone that wants to be the best anymore, someone has to want to beat the best. Well, who's the best?
That's the
Who
truth.
knows? You know,
Yeah.
there's just almost too much like self-said. I don't know. I guess confidence, or I don't know. It's just Monster Jam just on such a big scale that it's like they just call themselves the best, and they have the best people. Where the best person could be Joe Schmo that just kind of enjoys himself and doesn't even participate with that side of things.
Exactly, exactly. And that's the hardest thing is about somebody that is doing something like I'm doing. Back when I even had Monster Truck Radio, or when even this right here is trying to get a hold of these Feld people and saying, "Hey, man, I want you to be on the show," and they're like, "Ah, man, Feld won't let us." It's just like number one, I am not going to let Habo Gutierrez talk bad about anybody, and I'm not going to let Jim Kohler talk bad about anybody. And this show is all about the person that I am interviewing that night, and that's all there is to it. And I'm just going to treat everybody with respect. And I just wish, because it would be such a better position for me to be able to have people on the show from Monster Jam and all over, to be able to have them on the show, and they just don't allow it, man. It's tough. It really is.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just no one bigger or better has ever stepped up to challenge Monster Jam.
No.
So they just kind of get to do whatever they want and make their own history and do
Right.
their say so,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, I don't want to compare it to wrestling because I mean it's not as rigged as you think, but you can see the blatant favoritism with what I like to call the house trucks of Feld
Oh yeah.
versus some of your indies running there. I mean, that's what made Garner win in racing so awesome. And whenever he beat England, like England's a great dude, but it was just cool to see the JCB house truck that has so much backing and say so to it because the corporate sponsorship gets smoked by an independent that's running with Monster Jam.
Sure.
And then they get all quiet about the winner that year. Or like when Cretan won. There's crickets over that. No one,
Yeah.
they didn't care that Cretan won. Now they can't market their trucks that year as good as they can as the World Finals winner, or however they want to say it.
Yeah, guaranteed. And it's like you get an independent driver like Donald Ependendio, and Donald comes in and he just rocks the house in his truck, and he's making those guys look bad, man. I mean, it's just like, wow, who is this guy? And then all of a sudden now he was driving for them for a while and stuff, and I mean,
Yeah.
it's just it's the game. It's how you, I guess, it's the game you got to play, correct?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to play that side of it,
Yeah,
yeah, it's just no one. It's just Monster Jam's is the only one that's put monster trucks on that level,
yeah,
right? So it's like, who's really gonna come in and rival that unless someone makes a payout style tournament?
yeah. That's true. Well, Habo, I tell you what, man, I really appreciate you calling in and stuff. I wish we had more time that we could talk, and we definitely want to get you back on the show. And I'd love to, when you come up here to Denver and you got one of these BMX shows, give me a call, man. I'd love to come out and hang out and see one and physically meet you, man. That would be pretty cool. If I had a little more
Yeah,
notice, I would jam out to the Bigfoot open house, but I haven't looked at my calendar. But I think that weekend I got something going on the 13th. I thought it was a little bit later on in the year, but that would be a fun one to go to. But I'm thinking about going to the banquet at the end of the year, and I had Jeff Cook on here on the show probably a couple months back, and I told him, I said, I think I'm going to try to make it out there with a longtime monster truck driver friend of mine, Don King. He drove barefoot and a Quadzilla and the General and a couple other ones, And
he has the bike rack wheelie bar,
yep,
right?
exactly right,
Yep.
man. Yep, it's exactly right. And I spent most of my life with Don, or my monster truck life with Don, running the roads, And there was a man that could drive the shit out of a truck, man, and he would give those guys a run for their money, and it was an amazing. I seen him do some amazing things. I seen him. We were in someplace in Kentucky, and he took barefoot and he come up on one stack of cars and got it in a wheelie, and he walked, and I mean, not rolling forward. It was actually going from side to side like it was walking down one set of
Yeah.
cars, and he gagged it, and it spun around, and he walked back down the other set of cars.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jeez.
and I mean, just amazing stuff. And this is a man that had a fuel business in Neola, Iowa, and he's retired to now, and he's a bus driver. But you go to his house, and he's got more classic cars and hot rods, and and he's got more stories and stuff. And I always tell him, Don, let me get you on the show. Oh, nobody ever wants to hear from this old man. I said, you'd be surprised. See, and you knew about his trucks, man. I mean, there's people out there that love to hear from him, man. And uh,
Oh, definitely.
you know,
I mean, I know Elliot Miller loves them just
yeah,
because the classic wheelies, just digging that bike rack wheelie bar
yeah,
right across those cars like he's cheese grating them.
yeah, guaranteed, man. It was. I seen some amazing stuff with that man. I really did. I mean, it was. I had a great career, man, and I wish you the best in yours. I wish you that you get to see some amazing things and stuff like that. I just don't know where monster trucks are going to be able to go from here and to do a spectacular, because there's been so much done. But then I think back to when the guys had the old school trucks and stuff like that. They could just barely do a few things, and so there's going to be some more amazing stuff happening, but it's just I talked to Bobby Holman the other night on the show, and Bobby was just like, I don't know what really can be what's left to do. I mean, these guys are backflipping them, they're bicycling them, or tricycling them, they're doing all this other stuff and stoppies and all that. He said, what else can a monster truck do? And I said, well, nobody's really ever. Well, they've done a corkscrew though, haven't they? Somebody's done a corkscrew back a year or two ago, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they're try a mega truck tried it. Well, and I think the game is kind of like it peaked with its crazy, gnarly stuff, whatever you want to call it. Where now it's kind of like everyone's realized, well, it's all kids coming to our shows, and 90% of the people that do come to a monster truck show, it's their first one or first time ever coming to this every year.
right.
So now everyone kind of like Hot Wheels and Monster Truck Wars. Your demographic is a parent bringing a kid, and they don't know what a good slap wheelie is or a tasteful
No,
wheelie walking over some cars. They get a 3D dinosaur or a shark or whatever you want to put on it, and you sell some shirts, and that's what it is. So the game is more geared towards kids being friendly and not being, it's not a Tom Menz show going out there breaking wheels off and, throwing the helmet at the truck. As much as we all love that,
yeah,
it's very, the demographics that come to the shows nowadays are very tame
right.
compared to what it used to be. It almost used to be like smoker cross. You go to monster trucks and get drunk with your boys and see a car torn in half. Well, now, you're playing Baby Shark at halftime for the kids, shooting T-shirts,
Yeah,
and you don't want to sound too gnarly or you'll scare the kids. And it's like that was the whole point of a monster truck.
well, that's true. That is true,
So
man. Well,
everyone's figured it out.
yeah, that's the truth, and that's what Bobby said. He said they just, I mean, they bring in a ramp that's pre-built. I mean, it's all different. It's changed a lot
I-
since
It's
since I
it's
was.
more routine now. Instead of building a track and saying have at it, boys. You got your stoppy guy, you got your wheelie guy, you got your racer guy, and then you got one dude that's gonna go put on a good freestyle.
Sure.
So everyone kind of has your lane instead of like someone with a story that is trying to make themselves. Now you kind of got stoppy departments and your racing departments when it comes to your talents behind the wheel.
Right, exactly. Well, hey, let's play your song right fast, and then did you hear it?
Yeah, I did listen to it earlier.
Did I get
Um,
did I
eh,
get the genre of the music right?
yeah, it's cool.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I just the name of the band that you give me, I tried every way in the world. I looked them up, and I tried to get this program that I made or that I have to do it. And God, some of the stuff was just terrible, man. I was like, oh man. But I really wanted the challenge, and I still think I'm going to do it anyway. And then I'll send you a copy of it. I wanted the challenge of the hip hop, and you changed it on me, dude. I was like so fired up to do a hip hop song for
Well,
somebody,
I didn't want to throw you off. I
No,
was like,
dude,
oh,
I was
we'll just keep it easy.
no, man, I was ready for the challenge, and I think I'm going to go ahead, and I think I'm going to do it anyway. And then if I do it and it does sound good, I'll send it to you and see what you think, and then you can have that one too. But yeah, I was
Yeah.
ready, dude. I was rolling my sleeves up, licking my chops. I was like, yes, man, this is a challenge, because everybody's like, well, I like '70s rock. Well, I like country. Well, I like modern country. I'm like, okay, we've done all this and everybody's fine and these songs that are good, but dude, I want a challenge. And then when you said hip hop, I was like, oh man, my prayers have been answered. So I think I'm going to go, if you don't mind, I think I'm going to go
Oh,
ahead
please.
and I'm going to take your song and I'm going to try to turn it into a hip hop if I can and see what it comes out like. Because
Yeah, let's do it.
it might be surprising how good it comes out, and then it might be something if you never hear from me again that it didn't work out, man, or something.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But why don't you hang with us just a minute? I want to play this song for everybody, and then we'll be back and we'll finish up the show, man. Okay?
All right, sounds good.
All right. This is called Pontoon Beach Dreams, guys. Right here. We'll be back in a minute.
Illinois, raised in the country, making my own noise. Mama hauled horses from town to town, while my brothers dragged me where the monster trucks would pound. Big tires thundering under Midwestern lights. That engine noise got buried deep inside. Then at 9 years old, I found a BMX dream, just a skinny kid chasing my forever dream. By 15, that little skate park knew my name. Sponsor sticker on my bike and dirt inside my veins. Didn't know then where that road would lead, just knew I was alive every time I hit full speed. Yeah, I grew up somewhere between skate park rails and monster machines. From St. Louis nights to those county fairgrounds, I found my voice in the roar and the sound. From BMX jams to the big show lights, living 1 mile in one crowd at a time. Never planned this life, but look at me now, still calling dreams through a microphone loud. Teenage years were parking lots and busted chains, riding skate parks with my friends through sun and rain, traveling cross country at 16 years old, chasing BMX stories nobody else told. Spent my weekends in those St. Louis stands, watching legends throw steel across the land. From 98 through 2017, every monster truck show still lives inside me. Didn't saving it at the World Finals run, Tim Jones tearing axles off one by one. Jerry broke the 4-link tabs clean loose, and every fan there went absolutely unglued. Yeah, I grew up somewhere between skate park rails and monster machines. From St. Louis nights to those county fairgrounds, I found my voice in the roar and the sound. From BMX jams to the big show lights, living 1 mile in one crowd at a time. Never planned this life, but look at me now, still calling dreams through a microphone loud. The skate park almost faded into history. No more annual jam for the community.
So I picked that torch up with my own two hands. Spent 11 years keeping alive what we had. Then one night out in Casper, Wyoming, camera work for tough, it's just another evening. Scott Heaton's flight got canceled out. Promoters panic running all around. Denny Mass looked over and said that kid can talk. Next thing I knew, I was walking that walk. Scott made it in, but the story stayed alive. And the next season changed the course of my life. Kelly and Dave Goldman showed me how it's done. Brian Manson taught me how to work a crowd strong. Scott Heaton and Fred Schaefer too, all left fingerprints on the things I do. Now I'm announcing under Friday night skies. Still get chills every single time. Bigfoot open house, 4th year rolling in. Tough 6 seasons and still going again. Monster truck wars and monsters of destruction. Still living that dream from the grandstand discussions. Interviewed Bob Chandler, Army Armstrong too, and her Corey Snyder. Let one fly and wheel in West Virginia. Out of the blue, yeah, I grew up somewhere between skate park rails and monster machines. From Pontoon Beach to the nationwide lights. Still living every one of those childhood nights. Calling Tim Jones and Monster Patrol. Watching legends leave pieces of their soul. From the BMX dirt to the monster truck sound. I finally found where I belong now. Yeah, this life ain't fame, and it ain't gold. It's memory, stories, and crowds in the cold. And every time those engines shake the ground, I still feel like that kid in the front row now.
There you go, guys, right here. Pontoon Beach Dreams, the story about Habo. You know, Habo, before we
Yeah, that
go,
was awesome.
thank you, dude. I got a chance to work with my idol, Army Armstrong, when we did the show for AMP at the Cardinal Stadium. We were the first monster truck company to go in there and do a show at the new Cardinal Stadium. And to sit there next to, and I know you did an interview with him or something in the song we were talking about, but what an iconic man he is, you know. I mean, he's such a great man. I think the world of him, and to be able to, he called me the mouth of the mountain, and to be able to be able to work with him and be beside him, and just as a kid, the flashbacks growing up watching him, you know, like wow, I'd seen him announcing shows at the Pontiac Silverdome, and I seen him doing tractor pulls and you know, speedway bikes and stuff like that. It was really a full circle. Who would be your dream announcer, your idol to work with?
Man, so the people I like that I grew up watching, and one to touch base on Army, for my generation, all the dudes in our 30s, we grew up playing Monster Truck Madness 1 and 2.
Right.
So we have all those Army Armstrong quotes burned into our heads.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like who's passing out the harps and the halos, like all that, all of that. You know, so obviously Army's the man. But you know, Army aside, the people I really liked, I like Joe Lowe, late great Joe Lowe.
Joe Lowe was amazing. Had him on
Never
my
got
show.
to work with him, but yeah, I need to go back, or you need to send me that episode because it'd be cool to learn a little bit more about him.
I don't. We had the platform that when I worked at Castle Rock Radio, the platform we put everything out on after the show is no longer, and we lost every episode of Monster Truck Radio. Every single. Now Ross. Now, when I retired from Monster Truck Radio, I gave it to Ross, and Ross ran it for a couple years. And Ross might have those archived because he's such a good person about doing archives that he might have taken those old shows and archived them, which would be a blessing from heaven for me to be able to get those back. Because yeah, Joe Lowe, he was on, good guy. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
The other ones, and this is, I don't know if it's because of my gen or what, but Jeremy Bernardo was hilarious. I liked how off the wall he was. Dan Boyardi was cool, but that's because I grew up watching Motor Madness. Uh, but to work with, I mean, yeah, Scott Heaton, the man. I was thankful enough to work with him for 6 years and sponge off of him because come to find out, and to give you an example, being Scott Heaton's sidekick for 6 years. Whenever I got flown out to go do my first Monster Truck Wars show a couple months ago, they had Scott Heaton recordings that I was just, they're like, oh yeah, here's all Scott's stuff that he recorded for us. You can just hit play on this because everyone wants that Scott Heaton signature sound in the monster truck world, in the
Right.
independent side at least. Because I knew Scott was the man, but I kind of had a small chuckle where I'm like, all right, I get to go be the main guy at a different promoter show, but now I'm just pushing Scott Heaton. So if that gives you an idea, I told him that, and we were sitting there laughing about it. But no, thankfully to Scott, he's how I'm kind of getting gigs around everything that he's, whatever comes his way that he's been too booked or can't do. They'll be like, if you need a guy, I got a guy, and he's been generous enough to refer me. And he had even told me in the back whenever he did the first one, he's like, I don't do this. I've never done this, but do you want a show? I'm like, what do you mean you've never done this? He goes, brother, we're all competition.
Yeah.
If you start taking work, I get less work. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm like, I didn't think of that. He goes, no, I know. But he goes, these aren't my style of events. But if you need more seat time, which I know you want, go do these shows. And I'm
Right.
like, okay. So now I'm doing the shows for Harper, and most likely I'll be on the A tour this fall with Gary Frater and Shark Attack, Justin Murphy Locomotive. Cool truck lineup they have over
Yeah.
there. Um, and dude, he can sell a show. I mean, these venues are packed. So they have a good marketing program over there, Monster Truck Wars, and it's casual. I mean, it's just monster trucking. You keep the lights on. Is metaphorically speaking for the truck team owners like Devin Jones. You're not going out there and breaking your stuff, but you can keep a solid income going and go break your stuff once or twice a year whenever Miami happens or whatever.
Right.
Uh, you know. So yeah, and it's a good time over here. Just yeah, good stuff with that.
Well, good, man. Well,
But
that's good. Well, you definitely mentioned some great ones out there for sure, man. That you've been around that you'd like to, you know, be mentored by and
yeah,
stuff. So you've hit some of the cream of the cream. I promise you that right now.
yeah, like I say, I'm thankful to have. I mean, Toughest has really showed me everything. I mean, running around with Brian Manson because these guys have a high level of safety
Yeah.
and eyes for everything that happens on the floor, in the stands, and everything else. And whenever you go to the school of Brian Manson and Scott Heaton, you're aware of everything on the track, whether it's a truck break-in or tech-in or stuff like that. Then you go to other shows, it's like, oh, well, there's not enough safety barriers here. All right, well, there's only one official with one RII. Okay. Like you start seeing all the little safety things that those guys stress where you see other promoters. And I'm not saying any names, everyone does a stand up job, but certain venues are a little tighter than they should be, and you just kind of get it done,
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
So I'm thankful for having the eyes and running around with those guys to kind of, be a little safer than what a lot of people are aware of,
Sure.
you know.
Well, I'll tell you what, man.
So
I have one more question for you, and then I'll let you go. But first of all, if you've had a good time tonight, and when I started this, I told everybody, I'm starting it from zero. There's no followers. This is my baby, and I need help raising my baby. So any of these drivers you can ship my way, man. If you've had a good time and you think they'd like it, I would appreciate you telling them, man, and just mentioning the show as much as you can to people. Like, hey, have you heard Roller Show? And I was on it, and
Yeah.
because you're going to be able to go to YouTube, and this episode will be put up tomorrow. If it ain't put up tonight, it'll be put up tomorrow for sure. And you'll be able to hear it off of there, and of course on Facebook and stuff. But I just want a good quality interview, and I want somebody, I just want to bring the fans that I have into the monster truck realm, man, because it started out being a monster truck show, but it's opened up to so many different genres of entertainment. We do motorcycles, we do classic cars, we do monster trucks. It just depends on whatever it is. I even open it up to musicians and stuff that are indie artists and different things like that. So this is a big variety show, and we want to just try to make everybody feel welcome, and I just need help, man. That's all I need.
Yeah. Understandable. Yeah, no, I'll be happy to share and do all that. And then also, since you're a Colorado guy, did you see they're putting our Bandemers moving it down to the old Colorado Speedway
Yeah, dude.
down in the Springs?
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a good time, man. Because I'm a big drag racing fan, and when we lost the Western Swing, I was like going through withdrawals and stuff like that because they come to Denver every year, and all that. So, but it's not in Springs.
Yeah.
It's in Fredericksburg, ain't it, or something like that?
Isn't it like a little bit past the Springs?
No, no, it's up north. It's up north. They bought some property, John. Now, they are building a no prep track at CNS. They're going to be putting one out there. It's a no prep racing track.
Then maybe that's what I saw was
Yeah,
that.
yeah, they're doing a no prep because Bandemir's deal is going to be, if they started tomorrow, it would still be 4 years before they could get it all done because they want to go big. They want to do drag racing. They might want to do a big circle track. They've had so many different ideas that who knows what they're going to do. But they've already got the land bought and everything. But these other people are coming in, and they're going out to CNS, and they're going to do a no prep track out there. So you're not going to see like any of the forces or anybody. Of course, they don't even race anymore, but you're not going to see anybody big name come out there. But you're going to see some really good drag racing out there, and it's time, man, because Julesburg is the closest track right now, or Pueblo at PMI, and
Yeah.
that's the closest tracks you got to any kind of good drag racing if you love drag racing, and I do, man. I cut my teeth on that one, so that's a big deal for me. So I can't wait for Bandemir to come, and I can't wait for these other guys to get out there and do something too. So I look forward to that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the community needs it.
yeah, it does, man. I guarantee we need different forms of racing. So how about the main question I ask everybody? The last question of the night is, what do you want to be remembered by when it's your time and you're done and you hang up your microphone? What do you want people to say about Habo?
That I was just friendly and treated everyone the same. And whether you're a fan or a driver or whatever, I talk to you like I've known you forever.
Right.
I've always been transparent, and I've always been told that my gift is talking to people. So like whenever the track parties happen, I'm literally out there. I mean, it's a pit party. I'm the
Yeah.
host, so I'm like, even if I'm not talking on the mic, I'm talking to fans in line. I'm talking to random people that are like, "How big are the tires?" or like, "What's the motors?" So it's like I'm a little more interactive with the fans than what I noticed a lot of announcers are.
Uh-huh.
And even Scott one night, he comes out, and he'll get fans, because they're looking around like, "Where's Scott? Where's Scott?" And I've had people come up to me and be like, "Hey, can you go grab him from the back? I really want his autograph." And granted, that might happen a dozen times a season, but Scott comes out at Grand Forks, and I'm sitting there talking to everyone that's watching them work on Velociraptor because it was having electrical issues. And he's he had a little autograph line because people would come over because they know him. And he goes, I don't know how you do it, man. And then he's like, I'm gonna go hide or something like that before the show. Because some people are talkers or people are not. But yeah, no, I'm always for the people. And dude, I even had so Brandon Davis and Pit Crew Polly, that family out in Michigan, they sent me a designer box of fudge that's made on Mackinac Island out in Michigan.
Wow.
That's like you have to put it on a horse carriage. It goes off the island to the mainland, and then got shipped to my fat ass. All
Wow.
because, I just courteous and talk to people, and maybe, hey, you want to talk trucks on a mic? No one else is talking to me. How are you? Like,
That's
and
cool.
stuff like that. I can only imagine because I know the impact that I had whenever I went to shows, whenever I was a kid,
Right.
and no one even came up and talked to me.
No.
Right? I didn't
Right.
have the pit party interviews. I was never lucky enough to have that happen, and I know what that would have meant to me if that would have happened to me. Whenever you're spending all your hard-earned money. If you're a 16-year-old kid and you only got $80, and you spent 70 of it on a ticket to get in. You feel seen, and then you're a part of this. And yeah, I try to make everyone feel seen, whether it's a fan or a tech official that is just hiding in the shadows or whatever. Like with Monster Truck Wars, I'm like tech official Michael Gromek on the course. Like I always try to let everyone have their roles and be heard and seen.
There
You
you
know,
go, man. Well, dude, you're a class act,
but
man. I enjoyed talking with you. I look forward to meeting you. I really am interested when you come out here to do one of your BMX shows. I'd love to come and hang out and watch one. So if you can remember, give me a call, and if I can make it, dude, I'll come out there and hang with you and
yeah,
watch you at work.
yeah, I definitely go down and ride that Parker skate park every now and then.
Oh, do you?
But yeah, I live at Sixth and Sheridan in Denver County proper.
Oh, well, you're not very.
So
I live in Parker, so I am in Parker.
yeah,
Well,
you're
I'm out in the
30 minutes
grassland.
south.
Yeah, I'm in the grasslands. I'm
Okay.
on the east side of Parker. I'm not in the town of Parker. I'm out east. We got acreage out here, so yeah.
With all the prairie dogs.
No, we don't have prairie dogs, man. Thank God. Thank God. My God, I'm glad we don't have them little bastards. I'm serious,
Oh
man. I
man.
hate them. I hate them. They're terrible. And
Yeah.
I got friends that are ranchers and they hate them because the cows step in the holes and break a leg and it's a pain. I hate them. I really do. But we don't
Yeah.
have any, and nor do we have no rattlesnakes out here. I mean, and
Really?
just down the road at some of the golf courses where like Green Valley Ranch,
Yeah.
it's rattlesnakes everywhere. Now
Yeah. Yeah.
a buddy of mine lives up on East Parker Road, and 2 years ago he was out on his leach field, and there was a rattlesnake, and he killed it, and brought the rattle, took a picture of it, because I told him, I said, that was a bull snake. He goes, no, it was a rattlesnake. Let me show you, and he showed me some pictures, and sure enough, man, it was a rattlesnake. But well, I've never seen. I've lived out here now. We're going on 17 years out here in the country, and I've never seen one yet. Nor has anybody in the neighborhood. And there's only three of us. We all got 10-acre parcels, and nobody's ever seen any rattlesnakes at all.
That's good, man. Dude, I'll go mountain biking out in South Table and Golden. And I've had to bunny hop some rattlesnakes where I'm like, I hope that was a bull snake. So
Yeah.
now I know where not to ride my mountain bike. And yeah, out in Golden at those north and south tables.
Yeah.
Don't go there in the summer.
No, they're bad. That's where everybody gets bit. Well,
Yeah.
dude, you have a good night. Be safe in your travels. I look forward to meeting you, and I look forward to having you back on the show, okay?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to round two. I'll talk to you next time.
All right, buddy. And I'm going to do that hip hop,
All
and I'm
right.
going to send it your way.
All right. Sounds good. Have a good night, Roller.
All right. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.
All right, guys. Well, the show went a little longer than normal, and we finally got talking to him, and I'm glad he called in. I can understand that you fall asleep. That's That's being young. I can't fall asleep. I can't do that. If I got to do something, I got to be I got to be there. I got to be ready to go. So, but anyway, it turned out to be a good show, and I really appreciate Habo tuning in. So, you guys, I don't know. Let's see here. We'll do one on the way out, and then we're gonna hit the evening because I know there's probably only a few of you left in here. So let's see here if we got anything at all. I've played so many of these songs so much, I'm getting too much here. So, darn it. Let's see here. All right, let's just do this one, Riding Shotgun in Heaven. Anyway, guys, we're going to play this song, and then we're going to get out of here and get ready. Now, don't forget, on Sunday, I have Charlie Miller. He's a driver, used to work for Paul Schaefer, driven many monster trucks. And then on the 20th, I got Toya McLeod, who is a world champion auctioneer this year, and Gracie Sherman, who is a world champion ring woman, and they're going to be on the show, so that's going to be a good one. Texas Rich on the 24th, and then I got Roger Gallagher on the 27th, and then no show on the 31st because I'll be down in Pueblo. So after that, that's it. I'm going to play this song. I'm going to get out of here. Y'all have a blessed evening. I love you all. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a good night.
Daddy, you bought that Silverado back in 2001. A California stepside, shining in the sun. 305 motor and factory air. But you saw a better truck hiding in there. You dropped a 350 with a 4-barrel carb, little cam and flow masters rumbling hard. That Chevy carried every mile we'd seen before we ever knew what that truck would mean. I remember missing the school bus, standing next to you, just so I could ride to school. In that truck you drove, you'd drop me off and I'd smile so proud, telling all my friends I'd make you proud. I used to say that truck would someday be mine. Guess I dreamed about it all the time. Those mornings riding through the sunrise glow mean more now than you'll ever know. Then my brother came home wearing Marine Corps green. You handed him the keys to that old machine. He drove the wheels off that Chevy for years, till the frame gave away from miles and years. So you parked it down and let it sit, dust on the hood thinking that was it. But I told you, Dad, let's bring it back alive. Me and my boyfriend would make it right. He said the truck wasn't worth the time, said we'd find another dream down the line. But life has a way of changing our plans. 6 months later, fate dealt its hand. That freeway night changed everything. But Daddy, please don't blame a thing, 'cause even then I still could see the dream that truck would someday be. Now that old truck rolls down the road, carrying love you always showed. Every mile that engine screams still carries on. Andy's dream, sinister smoke in the midnight gleam, red oak bed and the stance down low, 383 stroker ready to go, 525 horses rumbling strong. Daddy, you finished what I dreamed all along. That old truck rolls down the road, carrying love you always showed. Every mile that engine screams still carries on. And these dreams, I see that truck every time it rolls, shine black with that green glow. And every time that engine roars, I'm riding right there like before. Mama, Daddy, please don't cry for me. I'm doing fine where the roads run free. One day we'll all be together, it seems. So keep on driving Andy's dream. And every time that truck rolls by, just know I'm riding shotgun from the sky.
All right, everyone, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Pedal to the Metal. I want to send out a huge thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in and supporting the show. I also want to thank all of our amazing sponsors. You're the ones that help keep the wheels turning, and we truly appreciate you. Be sure to join us every Wednesday and Sunday. We kick things off with music at 6 p.m. each night, and the full show starts at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Until next time, keep the pedal down, heads high, and we'll see you at the next show.